THC.
I'll tell you. And we are live, I think. What's up, potheads and political junkies?
Yo!
Watching Cannabis Culture News Live. I'm Jeremiah Vandermeer, editor of Cannabis Culture and Pot TV, sitting here with Carly, Marley, and Johnny B.
Nice glasses, dude.
You
Hey,
like
guys.
those?
Nice to see you.
What's up, guys? And on my cam to the right here, we have Mr. Lawrence Cherniak,
Wow.
the legend.
Thank you, Jeremiah.
It's all about the hash.
He is back in the studio again. If you tuned in yesterday to From Under the Sea Desk with Marijuana Man, you saw Lawrence make an appearance there. We're going to talk to him today on the show about what he's got going on. He's got a gig going on today at Budzilla.
That's right.
And he's got a new project that we're going to show off on the show and talk to Lawrence about some stuff. So we'll get to that real quick here. Lawrence,
Indeed.
good
Indeed.
to have you. I
Yep.
think this is the first time you've actually been on my show, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah.
You've invited me several times, though, in the past.
Yeah, that's right. We just haven't been able to connect. I think you've been on Greg's a couple times, but yeah, we'll get back to Lawrence in a little bit here. But as you can see in front of us here, Carly Marley brought some glass here. What is
Nice
this? Just
glass.
for our smoking pleasure?
Yeah.
Oh,
that
good.
that
That's
shit?
good.
I saw that our lounge.
Is that on?
Is it? Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, good.
This mic is on.
Good.
I saw that our lounge had such a wide variety of bongs that I could make a bong and a dab rig that matched for the show. So I indulged myself in that.
Very nice. Very nice. It's the Great Wall of China glass we had. We
Yeah.
said it right
Yeah.
now.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Hey, stop that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get a chat window up here so I can see.
I'm gonna
indeed
bring out
that
the heady
It
piece.
looks like we are on,
Right
and
there.
everything looks good. Hi, chatters out there.
know.
We
Have
have
you seen
some of the old team there. I see Professor Weeds there, Hendricks, Canadian Giants in the chat. What's up, CG? What's going on?
I feel like I'm down low right now. I have to like.
Do you?
Yeah, these are different chairs, are they?
So Johnny is actually not with us right now. This is his hologram. He's arrested at the border. Johnny, tell people about what you tried to pull off this morning.
Oh, well, this morning, I woke up this morning, it was bright and early, and because last night I decided I was going to go on a little adventure and do some four-buying, well, let's just say lightly going over bigger rocks and heading up to Vetter Mountain. I was overlooking the USA, and I thought, you know what, I should go there, but that ain't going to happen. So I woke up this morning, I'm like, you know what, it's April Fool's Day. So I'm going to jump in my car. I'm going to head down to Washington State to get some hash and some weed. And then if things go well, I was going to head down to California to smoke it. And I got like 50 comments, 300 likes. And I got some concerning phone calls that I didn't answer. You, my brother, called me and you're like, John, what's up? He's like, well, I forgot to head down to the U.S. and want to get some hash. He goes, you said, I said, I told him I wanted to get some hash and I was really interested in smoking some weed. And I said, oh, I got to go, man. They're like coming out, they're surrounding me.
You told
right
me
now.
there was 6 cops around you and
There
that you
was.
were being arrested.
I know. I had dreamt 6 cops if I went down there with my full melt bubble.
That was
they would
really
definitely
funny.
surround
You're
me.
like, I'm like, what did you tell them? You're like, I told them I was going to buy hash.
So
This
don't do that
guy's-
at the border.
this guy's crazy.
But anyways, April Fools.
April Fools. That
Thanks,
was a
guys.
funny one. Dana Larson, who just
I
stepped
missed
into the
his.
room here,
Yeah, what's
had a funny little April Fool's trick that he played on people. And actually, people are still asking whether that's true. People are like, yes. Yeah. We'll talk to Dana about what his trick was, but we don't want to give it away yet. But so...
Okay, I'm going to Google it first. Where's my
Google
phone?
it. Yes, the marijuana mayor. We have a very progressive mayor here in the city of Vancouver, and for those who don't know, the mayor is a DJ. He does go. Didn't he have a night at the Waldorf or something at one
How
point?
come we're not smoking weed? What's wrong with us?
I don't know. You should make sure that happens.
Clearly, I
So-
don't have dabs on the mind.
I don't have any,
All right. So
weed.
besides the weed smoking, so Lawrence, we have you here, and now you have in front of us, sitting here on the desk, what we have are some of Lawrence Cherniak's amazing books here. These are legendary books. The Great Books of Hashish are just massive books about hash. That when no books were about hash, when there were no, nothing like this out there. And he's got some other books on the table here, but
No, they're all 3 of the...
They're all about hash.
That's all the first trilogy.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's book 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, nice. It is.
The
have
reason
book
the
3.
second book has the name changed on the outside is because the scene got so hot in the early 80s that if you had anything to do with the word marijuana or a leaf in any kind of a commercial place, you would get busted and they would confiscate all your property. And not let you as the owner go back to your business, but let your business flourish so that hopefully some of the employees would run it into the ground.
Right.
So that's why I changed it to cannabis, because I knew I was really looking for serious trouble because of how many people were already really pissed off at me for doing the first book.
Now, Lawrence,
I was praising you when you did that, actually. So
yeah.
That was a
Thank
dark, a very dim trail in those days.
Well, and I mean, these paraphernalia laws are still here, actually. What's strange about it is, I mean, people don't realize that free speech isn't necessary here in this country in every way. I mean, it's not that we actually have that. They can stop you from having certain books about things. So when you talk about your books being confiscated and destroyed, did that happen a lot with your publications?
No, it happened a few times that I know of. But, and ultimately there was a heavy-duty ruling right in Book 2 there. If you open it to just 2 or 3 pages in, you'll see a Judge Wren, and you're welcome to read it aloud. Just 2 or 3 pages.
2 or 3 pages.
Yeah, where it says reviews. Next page, I believe you're almost there. There, on the bottom right side of that page on your right. What's that say? I think that was, it wasn't Terry Parker who had it, but somebody else. Go ahead.
Taken as a whole, the book must be seen as nothing except a glorification and celebration of the production and use of hashish.
And then what?
And so that was the Honorable Judge Edward Warren.
Wren. Warren?
Warren, yeah.
Okay.
Warren.
And
Yeah.
what else does he say?
It says, declaring the book not to be immoral,
Right.
and thereby His Honor instructed the Deputy Minister of National Review for Canadian Customs to permit its importation to the appellant, from whom it had been confiscated by Canadian Customs, ostensibly under federal prohibitory provisions. So
And-
they had to give it back.
Yeah, and it was Rebecca Shamai, who was on the executive of the first normal chapter in Canada,
Yeah.
and she worked with me, and she was the lawyer who now is a judge who managed to win that case for the defendant.
Wow, so there we go. We showed
Yeah.
that
Do you know
off.
who Rebecca Shamai is?
Rebecca Shamai, no.
Yeah. Anyway, she was one of the early, really stalwart ladies who were part of the beginning of the marijuana movement in Canada.
Very cool.
And she and John Conroy were 2 of the lawyers who were involved at the time. John was a national director, and I was the first president. I have stationery with our names on it from back then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh, so, Lawrence, how many books have you published in total?
About 6 or 7. I've got 2 more I'm on, more this year. But I have about 30 editions of my books.
Right,
So there's
over
lots
the
of
years.
editions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you have a new book that you're working on, and I have a copy of it here. I thought we...
It's right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and so
I'm not working on it. That's a reality.
this is, here it is. It's
There it
published.
is,
It's ready
yeah.
to go. And so now this is this launching now? This is part of what
This
you're
is,
doing at
well,
Budzilla?
it brand new last week. Yeah, I'm doing that tonight.
Right.
I'm having a launching and signing there.
Yeah,
And
that's
under
good.
very short, advance notice. But it's okay. I'm glad to do it.
Now this is the medicinal marijuana coloring book. I'm going to show
Correct.
this off. And so, Lawrence, tell us about what you have here.
Well, it features especially even-bladed leaves. So most people are usually used to the 5-bladed leaf, or 7. That book features 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12-bladed leaves, which are normal, but not common. So there's a lot of people who are not aware of it. And then when you open that inside front cover, there you're seeing some of the leaves that are in the book, and it talks about 1 through 13, every number of bladed leaves, which are featured in there. And they start off with a nice, interesting, little more than complex, plain, ordinary leaf on that first page that you've got the camera on now, I believe. And then it goes to plain leaves, and then it's not long before you're realizing, once you start getting to the... well, it isn't every numbered leaf. There's one that's a little more sophisticated and intricate. In other words, like where the shading is done. So if you did it with green, some of the dark shading would cause the darker greens, and depending on what kind of quality coloring pencils you're using. But there's... and then every one of them has a caption at the bottom of what place in the world that each leaf came from.
Oh, wow.
And there's only 2 that are together, and it's in the centerfold, 2 from Burma, which are both steppe leaves. That's one of a lot of people's favorite, that one to your right there. Have you seen that one before, Jeremiah?
This is the clock. I think we showed this off on the show yesterday, too, the
No, I don't know if we showed it off.
420 clock. It's
No.
got the leaf
Oh,
at
maybe we did.
420.
So I have that in
like
about
that one.
20 different renditions.
Yeah.
But there now you're into some more of the more sophisticated artwork leaves.
And so it's educational as well. It has
Yeah.
information about the where these leaves come from and stuff.
As
This
well.
is cool. Now, why a coloring book, Lawrence?
Well, because the world was ready for it. I mean, actually, I started it years and years ago. And I began to tell a little bit of it when we were with Marijuana Man. And what had happened, a friend of mine needed some money badly. So I figured, okay. So about 3 weeks ago, I said, all right, where are those files that I hadn't even looked at in 3 or 4 years because I've been busy with other things. And put it together in a week and a half and got it pre-produced last week. And here it is. And I'm having a lot of fun with it and getting wonderful responses. And well on into the second book in the series.
Oh, so you're going to continue the series?
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Was one of the first things somebody who didn't wish to compliment me about it and tell me what a terrific coloring book it was. They'd rather say, so you're going to do a whole series of these, I imagine. And if you're not, you should.
And so people can get a copy of this at the Cannabis Culture store here. But if they're not in Vancouver, where else can they get?
Well, they can look me up online. Just my name will get me to an email address sooner or later. Not long. And
Right.
soon there'll be
Do you have
pages.
do you have a website where these are available or anything like that?
I have a dozen websites, but it'll be at lawrencecherniak.com. It'll be at thegreatbooksofhashish.com. It'll be at stickersnotterrorists.com.
Stickers Not Terrorists.
Yeah.
That seems sensible.
Yeah. We're friends on Facebook, aren't we, Jeremiah?
I believe we are.
So when you first sent me that request, invitation, I should say,
Yes.
did I not send you some leaf work images?
It's very possible. I don't
Okay, well, I mean, usually when someone, is as gracious as you were, I send them some artwork.
Oh, well, that's
and
very
thank
cool.
them for inviting me to be friends.
And actually, I think you made a pin for me one time that had my name on it.
That's right.
Yeah, you made a
good
pin
for
with my
you.
name
Now
on
I
it.
remember that very clearly.
Yeah, yeah.
Now you're in serious trouble for not mentioning that earlier.
I remember that. I still have the pin. It's on my shelf at home.
Good.
I often.
Yeah, I made
think it
one
was
for
on my
Dana
backpack for a
too.
while.
Dana, do you still have yours?
Sorry, what's going on?
The pin that I once gave you. You still have that?
Yes.
There you go. See, look at that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Qualified it, but
I have mine.
Dana
Well,
Larson
good.
in the house.
Well,
Yeah,
I-
so Lawrence, now
Yeah.
you're an artist, and so you do all kinds of work like this. Now you were showing off something to me earlier that you put together, a banner actually.
Right, that's for tonight's event. And here it is.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. So this is for this evening's event. Oh, that one's upside down at the moment.
Upside
Yeah,
down. That's a 1 minute warning for 420.
Very. Oh, 1 minute
That's
warning
okay.
for 420.
I mean, I do that with a lot of my photography. It's, the kind of stuff that you can, rotate it, right?
Yes.
Right to the left, or 180 degrees, or leave it as it is.
It's an
Stand on your head, and then you'll see it the right way.
That's the easiest way. That looks great. Now, maybe just a little lower and a little. Yeah, there you go. Now you can see it. So this is tonight's event. So Lawrence, maybe
Happy 420.
Happy
this
420.
is at Budzilla this evening.
Yeah.
And
It's 420.
Fool's Mooning Day. It says Fool's Mooning Day.
It's April 1st, like you and Dana were talking about before. Right?
Yeah, and so
There you are, Mooning Day.
Mooning Day. Is that a thing? I didn't know that was a thing.
That's Fat Freddy and my character, Lee Lancelot.
Yes.
Mooning on the cover. Actually, it used to be the back
Freak
cover.
brother.
Because, you imagine when you know something, you see the back end. And I got so many people not liking the back cover. I thought, oh, well, I meant for controversy purposes, put it on the front.
There you go. Looks good.
Okay?
Thanks, Lawrence. Yeah, it looks great. Thanks a lot. So, hash. Now, hash is having this major surgence now of a new form, this extracted form, all of these different kinds of methods for extracting the trichomes from the cannabis plant. Johnny here, of course, is one of the guys pushing the new methods, the rosin and all these things.
It was the Death of BHO video that just kind of launched rosin through
Yeah.
So Gonzalez. I came up with it, but
Yeah, I love it.
You
it's
do like all
amazing.
that stuff.
Can I
Lawrence.
offer you a dab with some really nice hash right now?
I was
when we're
gonna-
off the show, if you
Okay,
don't mind.
no problem, Jer.
Yeah. Oh,
didn't
here
get
we
a
go.
420?
Oh, nice.
Here, go.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
And sorry, I wasn't trying to put my head in here.
No, I'm just saying, oh my gosh, because the dab that I saw you prepare, it's so amazing.
She's like, I thought that was for me.
No.
Oh man.
You just gave me an amazing dab. I'm
Well, you know what?
so
It's nothing
stoned for
about
that one.
smoking full melt dry sift, and I was with Bubble Man today, you know, and he had full melt dry sift. We had terpenes, we had bubble hash, and the first thing that we went for, because we had a gauntlet of everything you could possibly imagine, was the dry sift. The 99.9% pure is got to be the tastiest, the most refreshing, the nicest high. When you're just bouncing
And
the
completely
blend,
natural.
completely natural.
Completely
We're not
natural.
using any salt or water
Right,
or anything
that's
like
right,
that. There's
yep.
no extraction when it comes to cold or heat, so there's nothing that's
Yep.
happening with it. You're just getting the essence of that pure gland, that medicine that's just so. I'm a hash guy. I love hash.
That's right.
And I walk in here and you're here and I'm honored. It's awesome. It's like, thank you. I'm giving you a hug and giving you some really nice. You're gonna really appreciate this Congo.
Good.
I'm actually honored. To
I
be
have
able to
some stuff
this
here you might like to try to.
I know I will.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure you will.
definitely.
So Lawrence, you were talking about doing rosin pressing. Is this the thing that you're into? You're
Oh,
into
yeah,
the
absolutely.
New extraction
Yeah,
methods.
yeah.
So you're on the edge of this stuff as well. I mean, there's
I
just
am.
so many different things: the extractors, the CO2, and all this stuff.
Yeah, there's another book that's showing in the inside back cover there on the bottom.
Of this one.
Inside back cover.
Yeah.
Inside back cover.
Gotcha.
On the very bottom, what does that say? Can you see on your left? Right in,
Trying to
right in the
It
gutter?
says 100 ways to use and smoke hash.
Right.
Yeah.
So 100 ways has to do with all of so many ways and different things to do with it, and also has more than 20 different forms of extraction.
Oh wow.
More than 20 different ones
Yeah, there is a
that
lot
are,
of
you know,
ways.
the typical kind of photography that I'm well known for.
Is there, Lawrence, of all of them, do you have one that you go to the most or that you like? Like, is there a hash that you default to?
No, I can't
No.
say that because I've been doing this so long. There's so many beautiful things out there. It's like saying to me, what's my favorite food or what's my
Right,
favorite
exactly.
place in the world.
Yeah. It's hard to decide on these things.
Well,
Some
it's
people
not
have
that
that
hard.
one.
Why bother when you can enjoy them
Marijuana
all,
man.
you know? The idea is to, like we were talking
I like
about,
that theory.
enjoying, you know?
Why
Having fun.
enjoy all?
Yeah, enjoy all
of that can.
Absolutely.
You got to
And
have
then you get to
various
really
flavors
deal-
of the ice cream.
Yeah, and then you get to really deal with the real energy of the universe.
Yeah, some people have a.
full melt.
Well, that's
melt.
that as well as, you know,
Yeah.
full sex, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
So
Keeps you young, that's
Keeps
for
you
sure.
keeps you feeling.
Okay, well, complete, you know, and really your whole system working.
Some of this live resin is really tasty and flavorful,
As well.
man. That
That's
stuff
my
really,
favorite,
I like
is
that
live
stuff
resin.
a lot.
Yep,
Especially Congolese live resin is probably the most delicious tasting thing I've ever smoked.
Yeah, the
Ever.
Congo. People
Yeah.
like the
Wow,
Congo.
I just gave you
In terms of
Congo.
See that was I was gonna
And
say.
you sat beside me as I say
It-
the sip is
Marijuana
so awesome.
Man-
She's like, actually, you know what?
Marijuana
I
Man has an
really love
all-time
this. I
favorite.
love
His
this.
is the Congo.
No more for you.
No, I
That's
love
okay.
this
Just loves
That's
that
okay.
Congo.
The
I think it's
sift-
I'm pretty sure that's the one.
The sift is
That's-
amazing because it's so smooth. It's so easy to take it, and you are able to get such a big hit and such a good, clean high so easily. It's almost like drinking vodka, you know, of the
Yes.
extracts. But I find that the live resin holds that flavor that comes from kind of like the smelling the weed
Yeah, those-
really well.
All that terp stuff, you know.
Yeah, it tastes like, I don't know, like I love that like sativa-y, piney, mango-y tasting dabs in the morning. Best way to start your day.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Second way.
It's the best second best way.
Well, there's always a better.
Just saying, okay?
It's the second best
This is
way.
going to be an ongoing
There's gotta be
debate now.
something.
It's a sex second way.
Oh,
So Lawrence, you
That's fair.
gave us the websites and stuff. So Budzilla, are you coming to 420 this year, Lawrence?
No, I'm doing the 420 in Toronto where I'm
Oh, you are?
speaking and have a booth there.
What's going on? Toronto's like
If I
booming
were
over there.
here-
There's like 500
If I were here,
dispensaries
I've been
probably
at them
tomorrow.
before in Vancouver, so I love being here. And I've
Yeah.
lived here a lot, and I have my BC residency card, so.
Yeah, Toronto's really blowing up now too with everything
Oh, yeah.
they've got going on.
Dana, are you
The
headed to Toronto? Or you're
dispensaries,
here for 420?
There's
Nice
I
job.
they were saying
Yeah.
there's there may be as many dispensaries in Toronto now as there are in Vancouver.
No, there's more.
Not yet,
There's
but
more.
they're coming along very
I
quickly.
heard there's more now.
Oh, well, that would be surprised, but then, a couple of weeks ago there wasn't. That's how fast
Yes,
they
yeah,
are.
That was a
Could be
couple
now.
weeks ago. I
It's
know
a matter
somebody
of
just
weeks,
we
you know,
opened
that's
5
how
stores.
quickly. And I love it. This is all a part of, you know, things that I never imagined coming true, that I knew were going to come true. Like that book that I show you, you signed my book the other day.
Yeah.
Everybody here has signed my book
So
except you.
cool.
So when you have a minute, sign this book that over 7,000 people have signed by now to me, my book. So as a result of, where were we? Now, see, I enjoyed
Yeah, that weed is good.
Where were we?
We were talking about Toronto and the proliferation of the dispensaries and just everything going off. So much that you couldn't have imagined years ago that you did imagine. You
I
said.
don't know how that got to my book, though.
Yeah,
There was
well, you were-
something else that we were saying.
You were talking about how just things that so many things have come true that you couldn't have possibly imagined. And
Oh, yeah, like
transitions
how many
to it.
people have signed this book for me that anything like that would ever happen.
Yeah, no
right?
kidding. Yeah. Well,
Okay,
I
so
mean-
anyway, you were saying, what was the real train?
Well, I was actually just asking about Toronto. You said you were going there to speak, and
Yeah.
Toronto's kind of astounding. Just the growth is astounding to me.
So-
I mean,
I'm
you know,
sorry.
go ahead, Johnny.
I love when something happens and it's just one of those things. I always call it. It's just awesome. So you hand me this book and I love dry sift. I was 99.9% balanced. How to get your first, first bounce, everything. And I open up the book too. Dry sift. So of course I'm signing this page 100%.
Absolutely. I mean, the people who make that in Morocco, I mean, I'm real family with those people. The guy who ran the whole Morocco scene, his name is Mohammed Chef, and he's one of the most affable Muslim people you could ever meet in your life, and a Moroccan. And did I tell you anything about him the other day? I don't think so, right?
I don't think so. No.
So anyway, the 2 or 3 times ago when I was there, about 4 or 5 years ago, before I was there last year. So when I get there, by this time, Mohammed Chef has arranged a car for me in Tangier, which I have to, drive. And when I get there, we're going for a ride into the fields of where they're getting ready to do the cultivation and preparation for the seeds, as well as planting. And as we're going through the fields, he's driving my rented car, which he insists he drives now, because I'm not to pay for the rental, and he won't let anybody charge him for anything either. But everybody still insists that that he gives them money if he still insists he gives them money and pays them because of who he is. No one wishes to take money from the king, you see. So we're driving through the fields and going at outrageous speeds and bumps, all right towards the workers. And they're looking from a distance, and you're saying and seeing their vibe, saying, "Who is this idiot in a car coming towards us?" And when they see that it is Mohammed Chef driving, oh, they all start bowing and say, "Okay, Mohammed Chef, you like to run me over? Run me over." So stuff like that is where this guy comes from. And of course, there's lots of his family is in these books.
Yeah, there's some amazing stuff. In
And
the
I've
books.
been working on a movie there with him.
Oh, are you working on a movie
Yeah,
currently?
yeah, a couple of them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about them?
Well, like I was telling you about that one, so they're interested in us doing everything that you can imagine that I would come up with in my mind. So, and I have a lot of things that are, in what we've prepared, as text. And well, I can't share the name of the movie with you yet because I don't like to talk about things if they're not really done. But
Right.
sometimes I can brag about things like that. Because it isn't bragging, because it's like that guy Stan Musial, the baseball player. Remember him? He used to pitch for the St. Louis Cardinals. He said, if something is the truth, and when you talk about it, and it's got to do with you, and if it's the truth, then it's not bragging.
Right.
Right.
That's
so
true.
people should be proud of what they can do. Everybody should have things to be
100%.
proud of. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
wonderful
mean, if
to
it's
be able to
something
share
to
that.
your own-
Everybody has their own unique, and everybody has their own individuality, and
Absolutely.
everybody has their own passion, like yourself and what you do, and like everybody's got
That's
their
right,
own
absolutely.
everything, and
Yeah.
that's the best part about being individual.
Self-promotion,
Being-
man. That's the name of
being
the
your
game these
own,
days.
being your own perfect at what you do.
That's right.
Could be anything.
Exactly.
That's what I kind of love about today is that's what everyone kind of is about, advertising themselves as being best at
You're
what they
able
do.
to do it so easily on the internet, so that's why everybody's doing it. Facebook, man, it's your
Oh,
marketing scheme. It's like
Well, it's just
I
being
love
yourself,
that.
ultimately.
Every-
Ultimately, it's
I don't
being
know.
yourself.
I kind
Just
of
being
think that-
yourself.
There's
Yeah,
a
I
lot
kinda-
of
I kinda
problems.
have
There's a
bit
lot
of
of
an issue
problems.
with
I don't know if we
I
want to
wish
get
it
that
wasn't
the
necessarily-
I'm not
whole
just
national
advertising.
fish right now. but
It's
I-
really being yourself, yeah.
I think it's being
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah,
and
because
I think
that's more
it's-
whole, more
Exactly.
natural.
And
It gives
nothing
people the
wrong with-
opportunity to do that.
And to really share things that you have in common.
Exactly.
And especially, the ultimate purpose of this world and life beyond it being the breeding ground for the universe.
It's true.
Lawrence, all the traveling you've done, are you still doing traveling these days? Are you going places these
Yeah,
days?
I'm traveling these days on Hastings.
Down these days.
Yeah, for sure. No, I've been spending a lot of time in South America as well.
Oh,
America,
nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mentioned some of the cocaine stuff the other day, didn't I?
I think you
How I
may
was
have.
doing some photography there about that.
I was running in and out,
so,
but yeah, I heard
I've
something
got
about
tremendous photography there and filming of that exact moment when, the last of the liquid is being
you might
shaken
like
and
this.
boom, suddenly within 5 seconds, there it is, cottage cheese. Huh. So it's interesting, and there they regard marijuana and cannabis the way people here would regard heroin.
that. Right.
That's how they've been scared down there by the so-called New World Order and all of those elite people who thrive on, conquer and divide.
Well, and it gives law
Or divide and
enforcement,
conquer, right.
gives them the power to go after whoever they want down
That's
there
right.
in a really brutal way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, there's all the gang involvement in South America. We're not. I mean, some of that is getting better in some places. Some of it's getting worse in
Well,
others.
it's not as intense as it is in
Mexico.
No,
these
as
days.
in Peru.
Oh, Peru too. Yeah.
Peru is very cool. Really cool.
Okay, places not to
And
go.
I'm learning the Inca language too. I'm up to about 100 words of Quechua.
Oh wow.
You know Quechua?
Yeah.
I want
Can
to
you
hear
say
some
something
Quechua.
for us in it?
Yeah, Calcitun.
Casatun.
So, how's it going today, guys?
It's going well.
Yeah, there
How do you
go.
respond?
I don't even know how to respond. I was going to start making some noises and I thought
Johnny
I'd come up
knows
with
the
something.
language.
I was
He
like,
speaks that for sure.
But you can say Calcitun for anything, like Calcitun Lima. When you say how's you back at your home, you say how are things back there. Calcitun Vancouver. So
How are
get
things
some
going?
news.
Casatun.
Give me some news. Is basically what you're saying.
Casatun hash. How's your hash?
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, Lawrence, I appreciate you coming on today, man. It was really good to have you. I don't want to keep you too long. I know you got a gig to go to here. It's 4:30 right now. And so we
Okay.
also...
Well, thank you. It was brief and short, but amusing and fun.
Yeah, it's always nice to talk to you. I mean, we've had many a conversation, but it's nice to actually finally have you on the show.
Thank you.
And we'll have you back again soon. Anytime you're around the neighborhood, pop on in. I'm here every Friday doing this, so
Right.
you're always welcome, my
Okay.
friend.
I
We
look
kind
forward
of
to it.
we have a rotating sort of crew that makes their way in here there's a Malma Levine or a Dana Larson around usually, so we should throw Lawrence in the rotation on the regular if you're in the neighborhood.
Sure. Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
not a problem for me. I enjoy it here. I've lived here a lot, so I know my way around.
Yeah, well,
Sure.
it's good to have you on the show, Lawrence. And everybody get a copy of this one right here.
Can't
and
wait.
that's going to be, you can buy this
Whoa.
in our store downstairs. It looks really good.
You should show the back cover too. It's very
Okay,
cool, the
let's
back
see.
cover.
There.
That used to be the front cover.
Pardon?
That was I switched them around.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the last few days. I like this better as the front cover.
That's totally fair.
I like
That's my
this
style.
one.
Because of
I
those,
do
You
like,
know what? It's
I like the
eye-catching.
moon.
It'll
Yeah.
grab your attention for sure.
It's because of those tushes.
And the event is at Budzilla. The
First thing you
chatters
look
are
at,
asking
hey.
where, and how do they say, how do we get a signed coloring book? Is that possible, Lawrence?
Yep, if they come there when I'm there, I'll gladly sign it for them.
Come on down to Budzilla tonight, and that's from 8 till
From 6 till 9 at least.
6 till 9, okay. 6 till 9 at
Stop by and say
Budzilla.
hi.
Stop
What's
on by.
said
And
I could
Budzilla
probably
is
stop by and
on.
say hi.
Okay.
I don't
I'll
have
leave
the
here and come
address of
by.
Budzilla in front of me, but it's like Kingsway and
I have to get
something.
another one. Like I have one book. I gotta.
Johnny, do you know where Budzilla is?
Yes,
Kingsway and-
it's right. It's Nanaimo in Kingsway, right
Nanaimo in
beside the
Kingsway.
Petro-Canada.
Just a
And-
little bit west of Kingsway.
Yeah, just a little
Or
bit west.
Nanaimo, yeah.
Yeah.
It's on
Nanaimo and
Kingsway.
Kingsway.
On the north side.
Petro-Can. There's a Chinese place there, massage. There's the Budzilla and something else.
And his lounge.
And his lounge.
There you go.
There's
Awesome.
dispensary and lounge, two places.
They got
to go.
amazing peanut butter, by the way. Kick ass.
Budzilla.
Yeah, but
good
they
guys
got
there.
I
Great
got
guys.
some peanut butter from there, and like really, it's like the best infused peanut butter.
And he's a nice guy, too.
He's an
Oh
awesome
yeah,
guy.
those
Yeah.
the team at Budzilla are amazing.
Yeah.
Always really great.
And this
Everybody's
guy who
involved.
a lot of you know, Dirty Dave.
Dirty Dave.
Dirty Dave.
Dirty
he's,
Dave's one of our homies
he's
for
one
sure.
Of my, he's one of my sponsors tonight. I've probably done about 40 or 50,000 photos with Dirty Dave.
Nice.
Dirty Dave is the man. He's a
So
good
I'm
friend of
happy
ours
to
for sure.
Have some stuff from him to give away, some T-shirts and things.
Yeah, big sponsor of 422 and other
Terrific
things.
guy.
Yeah, he is a good
We
guy.
know each other for many years.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank
All right,
you very
thanks,
much
Lawrence.
again.
Really appreciate it.
I
And
appreciate
we'll talk
it.
soon.
Spending some time.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I will leave this right here, right?
Yeah, you can. Thanks, Lawrence. And I guess you want to probably take these books here too.
Oh, we're keeping them all.
we're just gonna steal these
copies
copies
from
from
you.
you.
Take those fucking
You gotta take those.
Those are some original editions.
Beautiful fucking thing.
And here we
It's
go.
not beautiful, no profanity.
All right, so Dana Larson is also in the house. And
Dana's giving away seeds.
Dana's over there typing away on his computer, sending out more fraudulent news stories.
I gotta pee.
Because of how cool Dirty Dave is,
I'll be back in a minute.
Johnny's got to go. When you got to go?
tonight one of Dana's books.
Oh,
Sign it for whoever's going to get this book, please.
Dana can sign a copy of his book for the party tonight.
And sign it on page 48 where it's about me.
So, Carly Marley, this is the first time you've been on my show since you've been back
I
from Ottawa.
know, I know.
It's nice to have you on.
Thank you.
Some of the chatters are expressing their interest in hanging with you. They seem to enjoy you. So, how's the 420 lifestyle going?
The 420
How's
lifestyle is going
Grandpa
pretty good.
Opus?
Opus is
Grumpy old
Opus.
Opus.
Is Opus.
Yeah. I love Opus.
He's one of a kind. I love Opus.
Yeah, I got my love goggles on today because I love having you on the show.
I know. It's because I'm here.
So it's nice to have you back.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, 420 Lifestyle, you can tune in and watch this girl every Monday at 4 p.m. right here on Pot TV with Grandpa Opus. Yeah, that's right.
And if I may,
McMahon himself, Opus.
be on the show with me and Dana as well. Together.
There you
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
go. Combo deal. So I was going to ask you about store stuff because you're also the manager of our online store, cannabisculturehq.com.
Yes, I am.
And so you know all there is to know about everything going on down there. I didn't get you to bring any glass, but I thought Kylie would. What happened to
Kylie
Kylie?
is supposed to be coming out to bring up some glass.
Oh.
I could throw a quick T-bomb.
Throw her a little
Ask her
T-bomb.
ask her what's the
Throw the
DZ.
T-bomb. That's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have a lot
Kylie
of-
has been coming on the show for the past few weeks, bringing cool pieces of glass to show off. And you brought these. Can I look at one of these rigs over here? Is that
This
a
is
dab rig?
Johnny's.
Oh, that's no. I meant the two that you brought. Yeah. See you, Lawrence. You two have a great weekend. Thanks for coming on the show, and have a great event tonight. Aloha. Yes, he's got the Hawaiian gear. Mahalo, and aloha.
You know, I lived there for a long time and raised my kids there.
Lawrence says he raised his kids in Hawaii. That would be a very beautiful place. It looks like it. Thanks, Lawrence. So, Dana Larson is over here. We got the Dana cam. There he is. Hi, Dana Larson on the Dana cam.
You ever seen the video of Lawrence Cherniak from the CBC archives talking about Canada's first head shop that he opened?
I don't know if I have.
It's a good video. It's back when he's all young and fresh, and he had Canada's first head shop in Toronto. Probably for the media said it was the first one, probably the first one.
Yeah.
And interestingly, William Gibson, Canadian renowned science fiction author,
Yeah,
was
neuromancer.
was the manager there for a while.
What?
He was the Nero manager.
Nah.
He was a manager there for a while. He said he fled the draft in the U.S. and came to Toronto to hang out in Yorkville and smoke weed and take drugs and chase around hippie chicks. And
That is absolutely bizarre.
just a weird little. Where else can you find stories like that? But in my Canadian history book.
Dun, dun,
So
dun, dun,
check
dun.
that out. That's all in there.
So that's really crazy that William Gibson and Lawrence Cherniak are connected on that level. Dana, you have been doing some hilarious stuff over the past few days. First
Dana,
of all
what do you
was
mean,
the...
just over the past few days.
Well,
Let's back that up. Dave's been doing
I mean,
hilarious stuff
he's
for
been
as
doing
long as I've known
He's
you.
been doing hilarious stuff for years, I'm sure since he was born, but really, really
Yeah.
funny in the last week. Now, one of them is this billboard that's gone up. It's not necessarily funny, but it's just a cool project, and it's funny because
think it's
parliamentarians are going to be driving by it, and Justin Trudeau is going to be like, "Damn these activists! Gonna have to do something about this." So, what's the billboard say again?
It says, "Screw you, Justin. Stop busting people." But in more polite words, it says 25,000. Stop the arrests. 25,000 marijuana possession arrests since Trudeau became prime minister.
Estimated.
With a little asterisk saying estimated, because we don't really know. We don't get the statistics for another 2 years. But I base this number on the fact that was the number of the last recorded one. Mm-hmm. That's the typical number that we would have gotten beforehand. And not a single police department or prosecutor in Canada has said they're going to be reducing the number of charges or going easy. In fact, it's been the opposite. Every
Completely the
media
opposite.
one that's been out there has said we're going to keep enforcing this to the strictest measure until the law changes. And so, and even if it's off by, if it's only 20,000 instead of 25,000, that's still 20,000 too many. If it's only one person, that's still one person too many.
Yeah.
But it's clearly a big number, and I feel pretty confident that it's around 25,000. By the time the billboard goes down at the end of April, it'll be around 30,000.
Good. That's crazy.
So
So
it's
it's a
just
good,
little
it's a fair,
reminder,
it's a
it gets the
decent, fair
media
estimate.
attention.
Yeah.
It links to legalizepetition.ca. Well, it doesn't actually link. You've got to type it in.
You can't click the billboard?
Yeah, click the billboard. But part of it is to promote this 8-point plan for legalization that we've put forward in our e-petition. If you go to legalizepetition.ca, you can click and get to our petition on the parliamentary website. I really want to get more signatures than the number 1 petition right now, which is about people
Guns or something?
changing a gun. There was a gun that was banned, and they want it unbanned.
Oh, that's huge. That's
and
big
so
time.
We're getting signatures faster than anybody else, but they have a head start. So, but anyway, so this is to promote this 8-point plan, which I think is an important one about how legalization should happen, and just to keep the pressure on the Liberals and Trudeau, let them know we haven't forgotten. And just coming up with April 20th soon, and so the folks at the 420 in Ottawa will be able to enjoy the billboard while they're out protesting and hopefully planting a whole bunch of cannabis seeds all around Parliament Hill.
There you go. That's fun. Now, you've also been packing up little packages of seeds for people, sending them out. And how's that project going? The big seed project over
It's
Grow
overwhelming.
Canada.
I mean, I make these announcements and do these things without fully realizing what I'm really getting into, right? So I announced I was going to give
That's
away
a
a
big
million
one,
cannabis
too.
seeds, and I've got 1 million, and that's great. And so I've been, but it's logistically a very large effort. I've got over 10,000 orders right now. My living room, my kitchen are full of boxes and bins with all kinds of envelopes in them, and there's plates and bowls of seeds that have been sorted out all over the place. I've had a lot of volunteers coming by the last few weeks, and I'm hoping this weekend to have a lot of folks come by. If you're in Vancouver, the Lower Mainland, you want to come by, find me on Facebook, check my address, and I'll give you my address. You can come on by. But we've mailed out about 2,000 envelopes so far, about 1,500 to 2,000 so far. And I hope to get another 5,000 or 6,000 out by Monday if we can really get it going, because they're all done. They just got to put the labels on them now. And but it's been wonderful. I'm giving out basically both what I'm calling high THC and high CBD seeds. The THC seeds I have less of. Probably had about 50 or 60,000, and they're all pretty much spoken for. Hoping some more are going to come in. A few folks to promise them to me, but they're not here yet, so we'll see. But we've been sending those out, and then I've also got a much larger quantity of CBD seeds, basically hemp seeds, of a strain that grows really well outdoors. It'll grow 5 foot tall. It'll have a very large central cola, minimal side branching, and it's grown commercially for seed production. So it's designed to make big fat buds. Mm-hmm. And if you grow it sensimilla style and kill all the males, it'll make a decent level of CBD resin for the plant. And but you know, the point of this, I mean, getting the buds at the end is not really the point. That's the kind of nice for dessert. But the point more is just to grow this plant openly and publicly in your yard, in your windowsill, in your local park, anywhere that any other plant can grow. And so a lot of folks have been ordering 100 packs of the CBD seeds, and they're going to plant them around their community. And altogether, these 10,000 orders represents about 300,000 seeds going across Canada. That's only a third of the total amount that I want to send, but it's really wonderful seeing that. People are very excited to get their seeds.
Very cool. Now, this April Fool's joke that you did today, that was pretty funny. We didn't actually explain that to people.
Please.
What
Well,
did you write?
Yeah, I know. I feel bad because I'm also I'm the one who spends half my day on Facebook posting like fake articles, spam. Why are you reposting this? It's not true. It's not true. And I hate people post fake stuff. But nevertheless, it's April Fool's, so that's the one day I'm allowed to post a fake news story. But I do feel bad. I posted a story saying that Gregory Robertson, Mayor of Vancouver, was going to fly the cannabis flag over City Hall on 420. That he made a speech saying we're going to welcome the cannabis community into the city of Vancouver. We're proud of our cannabis people and that they're pushing things forward, as they should be. And then at the end of it, it said he was going to be DJing at, I'm distracted now, something's going on over there.
I know, I'm just
Yeah,
not
Carly
sure, like,
distracting all of us.
I was like, wow.
Quit
I'm off
grabbing
on a
those
different thing,
things.
What was going on?
Anyway, just adjusting a little bit, but it just shows what's happening over there.
I was watching.
But anyways, now we're all blushing.
Heavily distracted.
But I put at the end of it that Gregory Robertson was going to come and DJ at the Cannabis Culture Lounge afterwards, that he'd be participating and leading the 420 giveaway. And you know, that might happen. And I kind of took part of this press release from stuff they put out about the Pride Parade and other events like that, because I do feel there's a parallel there, in that when the Pride Parade started, it was not welcomed by the city, it was not a popular event, it was considered subversive and bad. Now every corporation, every media person, every politician wants to be there. And I feel that our 420 rally, there's a lot of differences, of course, but I feel like our 420 rally is kind of starting to make that transition from an underground, forbidden event to something that's going to become more mainstream, and that politicians and businesses and that are going to want to participate in and get involved in, which I think is wonderful. But we're not quite there yet in our city, and that's too bad, because I really think probably deep down inside, Gregor Robertson would like to do those things if he could.
Yes, he probably would. Now, there seems to be...
He dreams about it.
Some people are saying the audio is fine. Others are saying there's a bit of a lag. But I think we have Craig X from Expert Joints telling me we have a lag in the sync of the audio, which we can fix probably by just restarting the program for 2 seconds. So I'm just going to restart the program, and it'll just take a second. So people out there, hold on just a sec. We'll be back in just one moment.
Just lag. You're saying
No,
it's lagging?
no. Ask a
See
lot
you
of
in a
other
sec.
users
1
first.
second.
Just say how many other people are saying that it's lagging.
That can clog up your sync.
Like,
We're back.
Wait a minute. Didn't we miss 420?
We're
No,
back again. Hopefully
said-
this is actually working this
I feel
time.
like
No, you took a huge dab.
Oh, that's some THC distillate. Would you like me to give you a dab?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's unreal. It's
Yeah, I would,
absolutely
yeah.
amazing.
Oh, what are you doing in my bowl?
All right.
I want one.
We're back.
Okay.
There's a
We're
lag.
Hi.
We're back to front to back. There's Dana. So what else haven't we talked about now, Dana? We talked about the billboard. We talked about the seeds. We haven't talked about the... Oh, we did talk about the petition briefly.
I'm
You
going
just
on. So we got about 15,000.
The tour.
I'm chewing coca leaves.
Give that... I was going to ask you about your coca leaves. Don't choke on those things, for God's sake. That would be
Sometimes a
terrible.
little piece of one goes down my throat. More than pot.
No,
No,
here,
coca leaf.
That's not... You should... You come do an interview while you're chewing.
I'm chewing it.
I know, I could tell. I was going to ask you about your chewing. I know I love the chewing. Some people might not love the chewing, but I love the chewing. So chew away, please.
All right. Thanks. I will. And
Blow it. Can you blow
You've
a
always
bubble with
talked
that
about.
stuff?
That's
No.
when Lawrence was talking about.
Yeah, Lawrence was talking
where
about
he was
coca and
taking
stuff too, chewing coca or whatever.
He's-
Making cocaine and how they transfer
cocoa
it, but-
leaf chewing coffee shops. I remember you saying that years ago. It was
Chewing
like-
coffee
Yeah,
shops.
you can drink it as well. You can make coca tea, and that probably would be. Most people would probably prefer to drink coca tea than chew the leaf necessarily. It's a little. You got to kind of be into it or whatever. Be hardcore like me to really chew the leaf, but most people I think would enjoy the tea quite a bit. It's very pleasant to drink. It tastes good if you make it right, and it's similar but better than
I like the
coffee
tea.
in many ways.
No, the tea is good, and it gives you that hype. It gives you a bit of a pick-me-up. It's like caffeine, but it's apparently it's not as Well, isn't it as addictive as caffeine, Dana, or more?
I've been doing it every day for quite a while, and I just find as long as I do a little more each day than last,
He keeps
I'm
chewing
just
more
fine.
every day. Yeah, and he's not addicted at
He's
all.
only consuming about 3 pounds a day right now.
Yeah.
My tolerance has gone up quite a bit over the years, but you know what?
Right.
No, I mean it's like anything.
I only have a problem
else,
when I run
you know. But it's a pretty mild. I'd say it's probably less addictive than coffee. You're in the same range, anyways. But I mean, chewing the leaf or drinking the tea, it's not. It's something you can get off of fairly easily if you want. You just rotate between them. Have
little
coffee
bit of
every
sweating.
second day and
A little bit of sweating.
coca every second day.
5 to 7 day hallucinations.
Yeah.
It's okay. You can get
As long as you don't try and stop using it, you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's right. Just keep
Exactly.
going.
See.
Well,
Just don't
but
stop.
anyways, I'm doing a national tour, and that's
Yes.
going to be coca fueled. No, I'm going to be doing a national tour. I'm going away on Tuesday. I'm going to Kelowna,
That's funny.
and I'm going to do Kelowna, Calgary, and Edmonton. Then I'm in Edmonton for the NDP convention on the weekend, or we'll see where the future of our party goes. But I'll be hosting a hospitality suite and getting my socialist friends in the NDP all stony.
Yeah.
And then I go from there to Regina, Saskatoon, Winnipeg, Toronto, and surrounding area, Ottawa under our billboard, Montreal, Halifax. Fly back to Vancouver on the 18th, and then on the 20th I'll be here for 420, of course, and I'll be doing the same kind of thing in Vancouver. I'll be making a bit of a talk about the history at the 420 rally and giving away lots of seeds.
Dana's doing a... We don't have a dab cam over there for you for some reason. You just got too close. Sorry, there's nothing. There you go. Yeah, there you go.
I gave him some Congo mixed with some THC distillate. Pretty much wanted to get him high.
Nice.
Did that work? Was that good?
Oh, he's hitting that thing still. Nice. Now you gotta move back a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Everybody's getting the crazy dabs in. Those things are
Yeah.
monsters.
That
Monsters.
stuff works.
Dana, do you?
I was gonna say-
Are you big on the?
Effective.
Are you big on
effective?
dabs, Dana? Do you buy shatter? No.
No, I'm too.
Do you have
old
a rig?
school
We
for
gotta
that.
we gotta get you some now terpenes with some THCA. It's
I'm
a lot
set in my
smoother.
ways. I roll joints. I put hash and dabs into my joints and smoke them that way. Usually, if I have dabs, I usually end up putting chunks into doobies.
It's like taking that epic hash, and it's like Mark said, and then you take some and they have this 99.9%, like this most amazing hash, and they scoop it out and they sprinkle it in tobacco or something like that. It's like, what you just do that?
I want to take amazing hash and then sprinkle it on amazing weed and then put amazing oil on that paper. And
Just
then
smoke the
that.
amazing hash.
That's what I
Yeah,
would
you
like
go
to do.
nuts with all the oils and the hashes and stuff. I'm surprised.
It all goes in a joint. The joint is the one that you can put anything. I guess a bong hit. I don't know. Anyways, joints. I like just shooting joints.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing. The terpenes I don't really understand yet. I feel I should be more
Johnny-
understanding of terpenes, but I don't really get the terpene thing. But
Well, they just
Okay, watch the
enhance.
look on this face right
Johnny,
here.
can you?
but they're like
summarize-
$1,000 for a drop of terpene or something.
They
Right?
just like
So it's
I
squeezed
know.
into my
What,
terpenes.
Johnny, what's so great about the terpenes? Explain
Well, it's
to
actually
us why. What's
okay.
so
Here,
great
so
about
here, I'm gonna just do this for 1 second.
I mean, they smell awesome, but
Yeah.
they just seem really expensive and they don't really get me high,
Well,
and so I don't really.
The whole
or maybe
thing
they do
is,
get me high. I don't know.
is one thing I realized about terpenes and how they modulate my pain, and that was something I realized in a hospital when Mark brought in 15 different terpenes. 2 of those terpenes literally took my pain away. So that was really interesting to see how terpenes modulate THC. So we see different strains have different conditions, help with different conditions, which you know this. You work with a dispensary, you work with patients. We know all different strains help with different conditions. Well, it's the terpenes that are modulating the THC that's helping with that condition more or less. So as we scratch more into the surface, we're learning more and more about how terpene modulation plays a key effect in how it's actually helping patients, and we see that with smells like aromatherapy, which is all through time and stuff like that. So it's just another way of looking at how cannabis is helping, and then just another form of what we can extract from the plant itself that is helping us more and more. It's like learning more about this plant and how much it's helping us. It's just another like, wow, we can actually take this out of it. And like, I just gave you THC, pure THC dipped with, 99.9% Congolese. It's tastier than, like, it's beautiful. I mean,
Is that what you just gave me?
that's what I just gave you.
It tastes good. Yeah.
It's amazing flavor, and it's more uplifting. And we all like our joints, we all like our bong rips, but I mean, this is just another level that we're looking at and how it's helping people. And shit, it's just tasty.
I don't really like bong rips. Like I do them, but I don't really even own a bong at home. Like I just smoke joints, and then when I finish my joints, I roll roach joints out of them.
I can't believe you don't know.
I, mean,
know
I,
what?
I have like a pipe. I have a couple of bongs. I never use it. If a guest comes over, I'll get out the dusty bong, and wipe it off for you or whatever. But I just don't like at home. I just chain smoke joints pretty much or whatever. That's my preferred method.
I guess for me, the concentrations helped me so much with my pain. It was something I really realized because pre, post, and after surgery, my consumption has dropped dramatically from what I used to use to help me with my pain control. And it was always those concentrates and stuff where now I'm able to really realize, the different effects from this and stuff like that. And terpenes right now are it's just a whole level of how we're seeing it help different people.
Well, I love the idea that we're barely just figuring out what all the cannabinoids are, and there's already
barely.
a whole
We're
other area
scratching the surface
of
on.
things to go into as well. But the terpenes aren't like the cannabinoids are pretty much unique to cannabis. 1 or 2 of the minor cannabinoids I think are found, like CBG is in some other plant or something. But the terpenes are available in many other plants. Are the ones in cannabis unique?
Well, certain ones like the one you're smelling here, I mean, it's a really unique terpene. So if we start, like what Skunk Man Sal was saying, we can start growing plants and then being able to grow a terpene to individual plants and start mixing terpenes, then we're going to have like a whole new level of how we're going to be able to start looking at this plant. But I mean, is that going to be what we're looking at? Are the different terpenes change through heat? So there's heat extractions, there's all different extractions, and I mean, we're just scratching the surface again. We don't know. We're learning.
Fascinating
I don't
stuff,
know.
yeah.
Like, it's just we're scratching the surface.
I have been in so much pain from my back, and my knees always ache, and the change of seasons. And for days, I've been complaining about how sore I am, and I've been trying to take dabs and smoking hash and looking for something, taking all sorts of different things. I think like Tylenols and stuff. And this is the first time in so long that I don't have any pain in my body at all. It's amazing.
So-
Thank you, Johnny.
So
You're
terps
the
are
best.
good for.
Well,
Yeah, it's
well,
amazing.
I
I thought it was just another level of snobbery.
No, no, I'm just,
No, it's
yeah,
amazing.
this is something that was brought to me by someone else who's in the
Just
medical
teasing.
field. I want to see how it reacts with me and other people that I deal with. So, I mean, I share this, and that's why, you know, I show pictures of it. I'm not a greedy person. I always want to see how it helps people, and that's that's what I look at. So, of course, I want to be able to take a better look at how terpene modulation is helping us, because we're seeing it. Because even with like the strain that I had for what I used, my Medikush, that had a terpene profile that helped me so much for my condition, and helped a lot of people who were suffering with back injury. We realize that. So with working in dispensaries, you see what strains help with different conditions. And then if we look at those terpenes now, we can take a look at what else is helping them. It's just more looking at a better way of, I don't know, it's just the plant. It's awesome. Love it. That's it.
Awesome.
Plant alchemy, good for all kinds of things that ail you.
Let's smoke
So-
more. Who's got a
That's
joint?
terpene
Neil?
awesome, man.
That's terpene awesome. Now, speaking of things that help people and the medical marijuana side of things, Dana, what's going on with the Board of Variants and your dispensary?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know, I think that the city is not doing this right, and they're screwing things up with this process. You know, they try to lull us into complacency and tell everybody, oh, it's going to be fine. The Board of Variants is going to deal with all this stuff. But Carrie Jang's in the media, city councilor, saying they're only going to want 20 dispensaries left at the end of this process. Board of Variants has turned down everybody that's come to them so far, pretty much. There's a few that might get through, but they're not being very forgiving in terms of, oh, you've been there a while and you're only 250 meters away, so let's just cut you some slack. There's been none of that.
Yeah.
And so what the point of this process is, I really don't know. And the city's
no
being
kidding.
very inconsistent in their messaging, you know, because on the one hand, we're going to the Board of Variants. On the other hand, they're saying, oh, you got to be closed down by the end of April. Before it was April 20th, which I still find like a weird joke or something that they pick
I know,
that
isn't
day.
that
Maybe
bizarre?
they're hoping that 420 will go awry and turn people against the pot community, and then they can use that to sort of go after the dispensaries or something. But
Maybe it will.
I find it really weird, and I don't really get it. Like, I feel like the city council, especially Vision Vancouver, should be supporting the cannabis community more. And supporting us doesn't just mean not arresting people because it's too much work. It means actually kind of being proactive, you know. They're very proactive on a lot of other social things, but they still treat the pot people as if we're bad people, or as if we're trying to do bad things to other people and hurt their kids and stuff. And
Yeah.
you know, I mean, and so they make their limits really unreasonable, right? I mean, I don't think there's any reason to have dispensaries any distance from schools. But if you're going to make a distance, why make it double that liquor stores have to be? That seems unnecessarily strict, right? If they made it the same as liquor stores, it's still too much, but we could go along with things like that a little better, which show at least some good faith that they're trying to be realistic, you know?
They
But
don't want to cut the grass of the people
they-
selling weed at the high school.
They want to make, all that'll do is
That's
push
funny.
it, people back underground. It'll push things back to the street. I know people who were street dealers who got storefronts and now they have dispensaries, and isn't that what we want? No, now they're going to go back on the street, or it's going to screw everything up. It's going to cause a lot of confusion and division, and I don't really understand who wanted this. I think most people in the city probably do support dispensaries being a certain distance from schools. I don't think anybody was saying they got to be double, or most people probably aren't even aware of those kind of details of the average person
Right.
in Vancouver is aware of that kind of stuff.
It's a
But-
way of limiting how many are allowed to open.
Right, but for no good reason.
Yeah, but
right? Why?
Yeah.
What's the logic behind that is that these are bad places and we don't want too many. But the
Right.
reality is, a lot of research in the U.S. shows that where dispensaries are, there's less violence, less crime, less opiate drug overdoses, less other problems. Yet the city of Vancouver says, oh, you can't go in the downtown east side because those are vulnerable people there. And it's right, there are vulnerable people, and they need marijuana, and they need compassionate marijuana. And a lot of those folks aren't very mobile, and even for them to get 50 blocks to a different part of the city to get some cannabis is not realistic. And it makes no sense at all. And I'm disappointed because I supported Vision Vancouver, and I supported Gregor, and I still like a lot of the people on Vision. I know some of them personally and that, but
Yeah.
I don't. I feel they've really screwed this up, and then it's just going to cause a lot of fighting, a lot of challenges, and for no real benefit. I think they could have made the rules more open without having to give us everything we all wanted necessarily. Right? They could have found a better middle ground. And I think it's going to lead to a lot of problems. Like every dispensary, as far as I know, stopped selling edibles when the city said to stop selling edibles. We grumbled and complained and pointed out how stupid it was, but as far as I know, nobody kept selling edibles. And when they said to shut down the vapor lounges in the dispensaries, not let anybody smoke, everybody complained, but as far as I know, all the ones that I saw, they all closed their dab bars, they all stopped, we all complied. With the
Yeah.
idea that by
I know what
complying
feeling,
on
yeah.
these things, we would then get a business license and be able to
Move forward.
move forward with that. And that, okay, we give up some freedom, but we're getting a thing in trade. But then they're coming out saying, oh, we're going to shut down everybody but 20 anyways. So it's like, well, then why am I following these rules in the first place? Why did I stop selling edibles and shut down my lounge why am I cooperating when clearly you're just going to treat me badly anyway? So
But I always
think,
question
you know-
that thing too. So they're giving you a license to distribute, but I mean, there's no license to purchase. So I always ask, you know, it's the elephant in the room is where's this cannabis that we're going to be selling at these legal dispensaries in Vancouver coming from? And no
well,
one wants
it's
to
yeah,
ask.
it's like the Dutch model where the whole supply and all that's unregulated
No,
and
we only
underground and
assume that.
illegal.
We only
and then the
assuming that.
storefronts are legal.
I think it's only an assumption because no one's asking, and at the same time, I think it was brought up recently, something I was reading where they're licensing these for distribution, but not for purchase or.
Well, and the city's
I'm
very
kinda-
unclear as to whether these dispensaries are medical or recreational or who they're supposed to be selling to. They couch it all in medical terms, and most, I'd say, still operate with some degree of restricting their clients, but the city doesn't seem to care about that, and that's fine. I would rather that we be able to sell to everybody anyways. I don't mind having to do what we do, but if we could sell to everybody and offer medical users a discount, that'd be way better, right? But the city's been very
100%.
unclear as to what they're really doing. They're misleading, I think, themselves and the public and dispensaries, and
Same with our
I think it's going to end up with a big shit show over the next year. They're going to be going after places. I mean, there's ways to shut down, right? They can send the cops in, you can reopen, but if they go to your landlord and start finding your landlord and things like that, that's the weak link in the chain, because landlords are not, they have a lot to lose, right?
They're not
So they
going to
have
lose money.
yeah, and so that, but I mean, it's still, even if they win and there's only 20 dispensaries, they'll have 20 dispensaries that are way too busy and have lineups and people everywhere, and then they'll have the rest of the cannabis thing back underground, where the police have said they're not going to bust anyone for selling pot really anyway. So then what? Like, it's, if I do it in my living room, my house, what's going to happen then? How this is not going to work.
Well,
They
that's the
screwed
whole
it up.
thing.
That's a good
If we get
point.
20, if we get 20 legal clubs or dispensaries in Vancouver, that's 20 that are legal that we never had to begin with. So I mean, at least it's a start. Whatever way we
you can look at it
it,
that way, but you can look at it the other way in that if there's 80 clubs that get raided and shut down in Vancouver, then that's a problem, right?
it
Because
creates
if we've
a lot
got
of job loss, everything too. Yeah.
I mean, if they'd gone the other way, if they'd said, "Oh, we're going to shut down 20% of the clubs that are causing problems," or if they were going to, if they let most people have a chance to participate in that, we have a reason to buy in and cooperate, people would cooperate. But when they give you no reason to cooperate, then people aren't going to cooperate, and they're going to lose any semblance of control they had over it, and it's going to go back to a free-for-all, I think. So I think they really wasted an opportunity in Vancouver. And the bylaws could just be tweaked in a few ways to make this work, right? But they're not willing to do that.
Yeah. No, I agree.
No, I know. What a wasted opportunity.
No,
Really
it's
brutal.
well, everything
and
comes
they
with it.
started
April
off-
20th, United Nations, everything. It's like
This is their model for legal marijuana, right? I mean, this is the same. This isn't
Yeah.
like just for dispensary. The dispensary model should be more open than if they're going to see that there's some harm or whatever. Like medical marijuana has got to be lower on whatever harm scale than recreational marijuana is. If you're looking at it like that,
I think
So-
that the lineups is a really good point because already there are long wait times, especially if you go in
Yeah.
close to time. And if you think, like when I'm in Ontario and there's only the liquor stores that are allowed the like LCBOs, the lineups are insane compared to Vancouver where it's like a more open market and you have a lot more opportunity for businesses to open.
It's not
And
convenient for the
it's-
public.
It's so inconvenient for the public. I hadn't really even thought about the lineups, but that's going to be awful. It's
well, in
such a
Vancouver
horrible-
services much of the Lower Mainland too, right? I mean, there's not a lot in other parts of the Lower Mainland. People come down here to get their cannabis, and they should there shouldn't be the criteria should be: are you meeting a certain standard
Yes.
of business running and quality and that kind of stuff? Not like, are you the distance you are located from another dispensary? That shouldn't really be the issue.
Yeah, it
the
shouldn't
issue
be an
should just
issue at
be
all.
whether you're running a good business or not, and when you're following the rules like other businesses or not. That's how it should be run. And so it's disappointing that for some places it's going to come down to a coin toss or pulling a name out of a hat to see who gets to stay and who gets to go. Like, that's a terrible system, and one that I don't think they use for anything
I know a couple
else.
clubs that are working on the demerit system because you got the Can Clinic and Canawai that are side by side that are both in the variants where so one of them's got to go.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Since you have two clubs there that are really
Yeah.
good, but one has to go, but then another club somewhere else that's maybe not well run or whatever, but because it's isolated.
Because it's isolated, it's
it doesn't
completely.
make a lot of sense.
No, it doesn't.
It's just going to lead to a lot of problems. There's no reason for it to be like this, and every aspect of this is flawed. So I'm
For lacking weed.
disappointed.
Right.
It's unfortunate we don't have a better party. I mean, Vancouver's got 3 parties. The NPA, who I doubt would have handled this better, it might have handled it worse, though I don't know. Vision Vancouver, who talked a good
I
game
doubt
on
it would have been
cannabis.
better.
Yeah, I mean, Gregor's come out for legalization and has said supportive of that, and it's whereas the NPA has But at the same time, the NPA, dispensaries have operated during NPA times. They never got raided either, right? But there was a lot less back then. So, and there's COPE in Vancouver, who are the more left-wing party and would probably be more supportive of dispensaries, but don't have enough support these days. So I don't know. It's a challenge.
They're coping with not winning any elections.
But I said I'm not planning on closing down my places. We've still got hearings coming up. My hearing for my one on Hastings isn't until September, and I don't want to close before then or after then. I'm probably going to get turned down, right? But you got to go through the motions.
Are you just going to? What if they start handing you fines? You staying open? What's the story?
Well, I would like to stay open, and I'll do what I can to stay open. It depends on the circumstances, but I certainly don't want to have to close, especially under this kind of ridiculous rules.
Yeah.
But
So
we'll
say if
see
it
what
closed by
happens. I
April
mean,
20th,
there's limits what you can do, but I'm certainly going to fight it as much as I can.
But isn't you have to stop the sale of cannabis? You don't have to close your doors. You can still have patients and do education and have patients there, and like
Can't
I
make
don't
any
know.
money that way.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I don't know. There's options. I would try to find another way of doing something.
I know, but I'm just they're saying that you have to stop the sale of cannabis. They can't force you to close doors if you're helping people. You're a society.
Well, if you're not
So-
selling cannabis, they don't care if people come in and talk to you and stuff. But,
Right.
You can try to. I don't know. I'd like to try to keep. So you could do other things too. And there's lots of ways of serving people and doing delivery.
Well, they
and
can come in the
whatnot,
front door and they can go out the back
but
door.
There'll be a
and out
huge
the back
boost in
door.
delivery services in the city.
I guess
as well, right?
major delivery services are already popping up. I heard. So.
And that's going to be a huge thing as well. And those, of course, are totally unregulated. They don't end up paying any business license fees. They're not under the system at all. And they're also not delivery is great. I'm not against it. But a storefront has a landlord. It's kind of got employees. It's sort of more part of the community. I think the storefront model is a good one. And to eliminate the storefronts and only have delivery services, I think is a loss for the area. I'm not against delivery. That's great for a lot of people. But there needs to be storefronts. They can act as a community hub. People can talk to each other. You get more, and they're also sort of intrinsic to the area. It gives it.
I grew up on the delivery service. I had to meet at a certain time in the corner there, and 8 of us would gather up, and a guy would show up on a bike. We all get our weed. It was awesome. I'm
Kelly's
kidding.
painting was the one-
1986, but
When I was a young man, Kelly's painting was the business card, and you call her up and order some paint, and she'd deliver you cans of paint, and it was always really good weed.
So I don't mean to give Dana the hook or anything, but
Time
we
to
have
go? All right, we're just
Kylie
rambling
here.
about
She's
young
on the
times,
clock.
fun
We got to
stuff.
get her
on the
over
clock.
here.
All right, thanks.
Nice
But
seeing
Dana-
you, Dana.
Dana always
It's all good.
Overgrowcanada.com.
Yeah.
overgrow,
That's about it. Overgrowcanada.com.
and I always say smoke out the government.
Legalizepetition.ca.
Legalization, yeah.
All right,
There
thanks
you
for
go.
having me.
Thanks, Dana.
DanaLarson.ca as well.
Damn, that's
you can
fully
get Dana's
support.
books, the illustrated Cannabis in Canada, and Illustrated History, the Illustrated History, and
Such a beautiful
7
book.
more. Harry Potter.
Green Buds and Hash, Harry
Green Buds and
Potter.
hash. We were talking about greens and buds
Also
and hash.
available on
Hash.
CannabisCultureHQ.com.
You're sold out.
Out of
There
which?
you go.
Green Buds and Hash?
Hi.
Oh, shit.
How are you?
Sold out.
We're fantastic. You have a microphone
in the
right there if you'd like me to grab it. Yeah, this is your personal
got
microphone.
Cam. I'm not sure. Well, no, she
Tammy's here?
can. She's in the hot seat.
Okay.
Hot seat's cool.
She's a hot
It's all
seat.
good. And that she can show it off to the cam there. It gives her a little bit of close action on the cam.
Just
so.
know she's usually come on here. I didn't want to be taking her seat.
Oh yeah, it's just too much shuffling.
Too much shuffling?
So
Do you want, you don't?
Oh yeah, so that's
Oh,
a good idea.
yeah, hey, you know what?
yeah, that's
No, don't be sorry. It's just,
That's a
people
good way to
think
do it.
I'm just the guy that.
I can move.
there you go. No, that's perfect.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, good?
Did that work?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, there we go.
Cool. All right.
So
People are thinking.
Kylie, what do you got for us today?
Well, first off, we have prepackaged some issues of the Cannabis Culture magazine that is no longer being printed.
Yes.
So we have grouped a bunch of them together. So for sale, they are $5.
Nice.
Take that one.
Pack of them.
You
I'll just
get
take that one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 copies.
Wow, that's a steal of a deal.
Done.
Yeah,
Pleasure
that's
doing business.
awesome.
All right,
$5.
I'll make sure to bring that downstairs to the store.
$5.
That was easy.
I'm just saying, that was
so
pretty
that one's
easy.
not for sale anymore, but we've got plenty more downstairs.
That's
So-
the limited edition
deal.
one, right?
Yeah, that one.
I got all the signed copies.
As seen on Pot TV.
Exactly.
Yep.
I
All
got
right,
a collection of quite a lot of stuff that over the last 25 years of this community that you guys have never seen. It will one day. It's kind of funny.
I actually have the full entire collection of Cannabis Culture magazines. Like I don't know how many people actually have that, but I have every single copy, including all the early ones. And I think there's only very few of them in existence.
I'm looking for Treating Yourself issue 32. If anybody has it out there, I would really, 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 really appreciate it.
Do a
'cause
little
it was the
collector
one.
stuff on the show.
Well, it was the one that I never got. And it was the one issue I was publishing for my
Oh, you
sort of
didn't
thing.
get
So
your
I
own
never have a
issue.
hard copy of it. So.
Oh, Johnny. How do you know it even exists? They
Well,
might have never even printed it.
they all went away. There's some of them.
All right,
want
so
one.
back to
Thank you.
we're getting
Send it here.
diverted here.
It's all good.
We digress. And so,
Uh-uh.
what do you got? Looks like you got a pelican going
I
on.
do. Called Ninja Nail. It's a Pelican and D-Nail collab that they've
D-Nail.
done. We just got it into the store today, so I thought I'd bring it up.
Ninja nail.
I don't know if they can see.
I've heard about this brand.
Yeah,
these ones
it's
before.
basically just like a Pelican case, your E-Nail, D-Nail, and yeah, it comes like everything you can. Yeah.
So it is a Dino,
Yes.
and it's in Pelican.
Yes. Both name brands.
It's
Yeah.
about time because I got the D-Nail on the turtle case, which was, and then the second one. That's awesome. I'm happy they did put a Pelican. It's such a better case, and it's a beautiful little unit in there.
Right.
Beautiful.
Gotta try and wrap it up
Yeah.
neatly, but yeah. So I thought
I,
that
I
those
support
are
my
some,
Pelican, of course.
Love the pellies.
right.
Got
Maybe
the,
they're
got the red
I like
Pelly.
thinking them.
I got the limited.
Oh, that thing, red. Wow, styles and piles, Johnny.
Right. Oh, good.
That's pretty cool. So people can get this down at our 307 West Hastings store, or is that available at the Davie?
And what's the
I'm
price
not
on that
too
one?
sure if it's available at Davie right now. It's
1674 Davie Street.
What's regular retail on,
If
on
it's
the
available.
before the good guy price comes in or whatever? But regular retail on the D-Nail of the store right now?
I don't know if we actually have just the D-Nail unit, but this unit itself is
Yeah.
880.
880. So that's
Yeah.
there you go. So
Yeah.
regular D-Nail is worth about $699 US, and then with the Pelican case, that Pelican case is worth $100. So
Yeah.
that's actually a pretty good deal. I like that, and it's portable, nice to go, and it comes with just the one nail and the one coil.
Yeah.
Nice
Do you believe so? In the power cord and everything.
power
in the
cord and
box.
everything. There you go.
Yeah.
So a little
Cool.
Pelly on the go
Snap
with
pocket.
your D-Nail. Hopefully
It's very,
soon,
very
accompanied
nice.
by a solar pack battery.
Right. That's
Solar.
We want to be dabbling on top of mountaintops where there's no electricity, so they got to figure something out. Throwing it out there.
They got it all now. Wind powered.
I was talking about the handheld rosin press, and those are coming out soon. So like everybody's got these
straightener?
big rosin presses, but it'd be nice to have a handheld one.
Solar
Kidding.
powered flashlight.
That's
Kidding.
how I envisioned one when I thought of making a rosin press.
Well, most people don't have pounds of weed and don't need this huge
Exactly.
unit, right?
Or not even necessarily
that's-
handheld,
that's
like,
like-
this big, then it can just kind of.
Well, it's a little unit that has something you put in there. It's gonna kind of go shh.
Exactly. Yeah, and like a waffle iron, a little red light goes
They
off.
should
and
have
stuff.
Johnny
the Johnny
B
B
brand.
rosin press.
They need a Johnny B.
Yeah, I'm just
Johnny B
marketing myself,
brand.
Johnny B brand.
right.
Yeah,
I'm down
Johnny
for
B
that. I'd buy
brand.
that.
And it could be like you.
Dude, I'd buy that.
It could
I'd
be
buy
your head on a bumblebee's body.
No.
And it could, Johnny B.
That'd be perfect. I'd love that. That'd be so funny.
Uh-oh. She's like, I love that before Sunday. Okay, well, you know
That'd be
what?
so
So,
funny.
So funny.
That'd be good.
That'd
Johnny B. Yeah, and then
I'd
it
enjoy
takes on a
that.
new meaning. Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Well,
Uh-oh.
I'm glad. I'm sorry
It's
we took so
happening.
much of your time.
Oh, it's all. I just didn't know because I'm supposed to be. I'm technically going to be done work soon, so I didn't want to be like up
This is
here
work.
and then come back
Just tell
downstairs
them
and
that
then be
Dana
like,
Larson
"Aren't you
has too
supposed
much
to be
to talk
done?"
about.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take you off, Dana.
You're so lovely, Kylie. So nice seeing you.
oh, she's so happy.
Do what I can.
Awesome. Thanks,
magazines,
guys.
well, thank you
No,
guys for
that's
having me.
awesome.
Well,
Much
thank you for coming on.
appreciated.
Enjoy
Oh
your
yeah,
magazine.
Johnny's
I will
purchasing
definitely
stuff.
do.
So
I
get
thank
your
you.
Cannabis Culture magazines in packs now down here at 307 West Hastings. And you can also find most of this stuff on our store online, cannabisculturehq.com. And I don't know about the packs yet. But
Yeah, well, I didn't know that those were in store, but they'll be online soon now.
There you
There
go.
you go.
I'm on top of that.
There you go. Yes, get to work. Carly Pants. Thanks, Kylie.
Send in the
So-
next person. Who's out there? Is Jason still out there?
No, Jay had to go.
Well, he was
It's
waiting.
too busy around here, man. We got too many guests, too many people got to come on. Jason Wilcox was in the house.
co-hosts
We're
now.
going to talk about the Allard non-appeal. So we should talk about this anyways. The
Well, that
government
was-
of Canada has
yeah.
decided not to appeal the Allard decision. That's Justice Phelan's decision about the pivotal medical marijuana case that would allow home growers to continue growing at home. So we're not really sure what that means exactly, but the government's not going to fight it.
So what it means is right now is now the government
Well, they got to
has
come up with a
5
scheme.
months
Yeah.
4 months, whatever, 29 days, to come up with legislation to allow medical patients to continue to grow their own medication.
Yeah, and
So,
they could come up with
it's not-
anything, really.
Well, it's something, yeah. So I know Jason did post that probably anywhere from 5 to 25 plants. So they're going to limit us by plant numbers. I mean, what are they going to do? Put in mass amounts of licensed producers to put in a legalized platform, flood the market, and it's a matter of time before weed starts becoming $1, $2 a gram, and this will get better. Access.
Like lettuce?
And
Yeah, I
it
don't know
should
about
be-
that,
well,
man.
you know what? It's gonna be lowering. Prices are gonna get cheaper. We do see that already with Bedrocam by lowering the
going on
prices for patients on all strains and stuff like
shot.
that because the market's gonna get more demanding. So I mean, what do we see happening? It's
See some Romulan Mikado over here?
Romulan Mikado.
Oh, that's the empty chair can.
the main thing is ill patients are able to continue to grow their own. Are we able to move our licenses? Not yet. That still applies. Are we able to carry more than 150 grams? No. Nothing has changed with the injunction.
We were going to talk about that on the show. Now, part of what
what's
Jason
happened.
was going to
That's-
talk about was the fact that Conroy is moving forward with trying to widen that still.
Well, we got 5 months. By the time Congress does anything, we're not going to hit a courtroom until the government will put in legislation around it. So, I mean, really, we're wasting our time.
No, they can do stuff immediately.
Well,
to
if they
try and
can, that would be.
expand
You would
the-
know more about that.
the
'cause I would
terms
be
of the
talking
injunction.
with them. But I do know that, as it stands right now, is the injunction hasn't changed. Everything still stays the same. I'm
Yeah.
allowed to carry 150 grams. I can't move my license. I know they can continue doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And over the next 5 months, the government will come in and say, well, this is what you're going to allow to do now.
Yeah.
And it's the way we see it. You can't be
Yeah.
within a school. You can't be this, that. You can't use HPS lighting. You can't. Who knows what they're going to say? We have no idea. You got to use
That's
grow
what I mean.
boxes. You can only have 5 per grow box.
They
You
could
got
come up with that.
maximum 4 grow boxes.
I doubt it.
I mean, but we don't know.
There's no way to know.
Ridiculous regulation that we then go after. I mean, they
Yeah.
didn't appeal for a reason.
What, the
because-
true colors will be shown when it does come out, though. That's when we'll really see what's up. I mean, if we haven't seen anything on the legalization front by then, they're talking about it being a year or 2 years for some sort of legalization movement or getting it all in place. But if they come back with the whole Allard thing on the medical side, we'll at least get a hint of the tone and where they're going with things, I think.
Well, that's the whole thing. Even like Dana said, you're saying how there's been 24,000 roughly arrests since Trudeau's been in power, and I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, look at me. I got
You can see the
ripped
tone
apart
there.
at an airport for the first time, and I've carried with me to every event across Canada for years and years since I've ever had a license, and I had the least amount of weed, maybe like this much.
I thought that whole border thing was just a lie, Johnny.
I know it was the airport there 2 weeks
I'm
ago.
just teasing.
But I mean, we are seeing more enforcement. Like, there's just it's weird what's happening, and I don't know. Let's just enjoy
That's-
420 and go from there. And
It is
hopefully, at the end of 420,
It'll be good, though.
we see a whole different platform where cannabis is rescheduled from a Schedule 1
Yeah.
down to a Schedule
Either
2 or a
way.
drug where it's got better access, and we just see more for a plant. And,
Yeah.
and
Well,
what
the
we're
whole the
seeing.
New York thing happening, the UN conference that's going on there. I think
Well,
that's going to be
it's just
interesting
with all
as
the
well.
research being done. Look at all the terpenes and the separations. Like there's so much of this plant, and they know it. There's so much money to be made from this plant. It's
It's a big deal.
It's,
It's
gonna happen.
bursting at the seams, just ready to become a mainstream thing all over the place. Like, look at, there's news stories every day. You just can't follow
It's the
everything
next
that's going
goal,
on across
cannabis
North America.
resin. That's. I mean, it is right. I mean, it's great to see. And
So, I was going to play a video clip of this, exactly what we're talking about here. Now, Alyssa, do we have our video clips operational? Do we have, like, the sound operational? So,
it'll be interesting to
new-
see how they're going to legislate us. But I mean, for me, I'm continuing to grow, and I'm happy to be able to continue to grow my medicine. And I know that I don't have to live in fear around it anymore, and I don't have to worry about being arrested or cops coming to my door and wanting to see what I got. It's kind of nice. You don't have to worry about it. I never really have because I don't care about it.
Yeah. Well, I know, but I mean, this 150 gram thing, does that affect you and how you operate from the day to day?
Well, it did, but not really too much anymore.
Right.
I mean, if I'm going to travel, I used to use concentrates because there was no way I could travel with the amount of cannabis I would use if I was going to go away for a couple of weeks. I mean, it just doesn't happen. So, but I mean, luckily, I'm only traveling in Canada, so I can pretty much access cannabis in every province at this point, right? So, I mostly go to Toronto and stuff like that. But I mean, 150 gram limit. Like once again, when the global on the Thursday when the government didn't appeal, made the newspaper, and it specifically says that I have 144 plants and live in Abbotsford. So they've been in my room. They've done lots of filming. I've never had any more than like 50 or 55 plants in my room, but they always want to state the amount of plants that I'm growing. So I'm looking at that might become a key factor in the new legislation, is the amount of plants. Because they seem to be focusing. I see certain things in what I deal with, and they really want to focus on the amount of plants that I'm able to have, but they don't really say the amount that I'm actually growing.
Right. Well,
And I mean, for me, it's just like, why do you have to put that in there? I mean, as in someone who's involved, it's like, why do you always have to put, that's what I have, when you've been in bigger, you know what I mean? So I think they're looking at plant numbers. That's just my personal opinion, and we'll see how it's going to pan out. But you got more right there on the evening news.
wait, hold on a sec here. That is working good. It looks good. Okay, so this is, a clip from Global News about this Allard decision. It's just a couple minutes long, but I wanted to play it for you, everybody out there. Hold on a sec here. Let's just make sure the sound is working. And when I press it, I guess Alyssa will know if it's working or not for people. But
I'd
let
say
me
right
test.
now, get your Health Canada forms. Is it working?
Doesn't sound like it was. Oh wait, that's because I had the volume down.
People are still chill trying to access cannabis, still having
Court
phones.
ruling yesterday, medical
There we go.
marijuana users
Okay,
have the
check it
right to grow their own pot, a decision users are celebrating. But what impact does it have? Jacqueline Wilson spoke to local experts and legal producers to find out.
Some say a huge step forward has happened for medicinal marijuana users in Canada. On February 24th, a federal court judge ruled that licensed users may now grow their own pot.
The Allard decision allows people who are authorized by physicians to consume medical marijuana to grow it themselves. And so what this does is it undercuts the power of these 26 producers.
Previously, medical users were required to buy from licensed producers who are regulated and standardized by Health Canada.
You have standard operating procedures and good manufacturing practices that govern the quality and purity of the medical marijuana that patients receive.
Brett Zettel, president and CEO of a legal producer outside of Saskatoon, says he's agnostic towards the decision.
The ruling doesn't, it just speaks to people's rights to making sure that sensitizing the government to say, hey, you have to make sure that all members of society have fair and reasonable access to medical cannabis.
Zettel says that one of his main concerns is diversion.
Our issue hasn't been people growing their own. Our issue has been with the diversion that goes and with outside of that. And so people who are growing it and then using it to sell, the access to sell.
Zettel argues that licensed producers provide the needed stability that homegrown plants may not.
For the masses, really, they want to get to something that's normal, where they have a normal amount of THC and CBD that they can dial in specifically.
This ruling doesn't apply for new patients requesting medical marijuana licenses. Only users who have previously held a license before the ruling are given authorization to grow their own plants. All new patients will have to wait 6 months until the federal government decides on a new policy. Jacqueline Wilson, Global News.
All right, so we're back now.
Are we back?
We are back.
Nice job. So, pretty much, I didn't hear what they said because we had a volume problem on our end.
Oh yeah, on the but
So we're gonna wing it.
Hours.
What they said.
Whatever they said, they said.
Whatever they said was, it's pretty much on par.
I'm going to make sure we still have the chat.
So apparently, John Conway is in court on the April
Yes.
22nd.
April
and-
22nd, trying to widen the terms of the injunction.
And that would be for.
We are back.
Nice job.
There we go. Oh,
So,
we're coming. That's funny. We could hear ourselves there. We are still broadcasting. We look good. Look at that handsome beard Johnny's got going on.
I just had.
So, yeah, that was-
I found a new barber, Rosie Barber.
I saw somebody in the chat say that you were the cutest ginger they'd ever seen.
Well, that's
Oh,
nice. Thanks,
that's
guys.
nice.
Just-
Oh,
I'm
Ash,
working
I
on.
was just going to throw the cam on you.
No.
Okay, she's going to get butane.
Well, you know what? Yeah, it's just new me. Feel great, when the surgery's gone very well, it's successful, and how it's helped me, and just it's feels good.
That's right.
And you know what? I had to match my co-host there. I had to have the.
We
just
got to
have
do the
co-host.
ginger
I
beard
had to have
things.
the beard. I've never really had a beard before.
Me and you,
Like,
ginger
what?
beard
So-
brothers.
And then, of course, I went in and saw Rosie. I said, "You got to make me look handsome." And she goes, I was gonna go bald again. She goes, well, you know what? How about I'll make you look handsome? I'm like, how about that? And here we
I
go.
love beards, personally.
Really?
Really didn't know that.
I don't hate what I
Just
do
surrounded by
here.
Glass blowers. You must
Glass
have
blowers. I'm gonna start glowing with some glass. I figured I was gonna get a glass little thing in the backyard. I'm gonna get a torch and I'm
That's
like,
so
really?
cool. I would
So
love
have-
to learn how to blow glass.
I
I would
really-
set myself on fire for sure. Guaranteed it would be the death of me. But I would love to learn how to do it.
Yeah, you should.
I'm
You're
way
gonna
too
be good at
clumsy,
it.
I think.
You're,
I think I'm way
you're an
too
artiste.
clumsy.
You're good at drawing and doing other creative endeavors.
I try.
Is this weed for me?
Yeah, I would like basically
Oh,
put it on
very
top of your
nice.
hand. So I
Well,
figured-
yeah, I don't pay attention to the
that was
things
so
you
nice.
do.
of you.
Hey.
Just teasing.
I thought you were saying
obviously.
something nice at first, and I was like,
I was just being an asshole.
yeah, huge.
So I have an interview that I recorded with Natasha Ray from Lift.
Lift.
Yeah, now Lift has
I can't
all
wait
kinds
for
of
Lift.
stuff going
They
on.
got some good stuff going on. Good people.
Yeah, the conferences, the expos. So this is pretty amazing, this accomplishment. They are bringing back what was known before as the Treating Yourself Expo or the Champs Expo. It's now back at the Toronto Convention Center. It's a totally different expo, but it's at the same place.
And it's
those
called the
other-
Lift Cannabis 2016.
That's right.
Do,
The
do,
Lift
do, do,
Cannabis
do, do,
Expo
do,
or
do.
Lift Expo.
Both. 424 is where I'll be, just so you know, Medina, Canada. I had to throw that out there. But you know what? Lift has been doing a lot of good education. They've been holding a little conferences, and they have a Lift magazine on cannabis. And you know what? They're just, the social media platform and getting education out there for patients and helping the industry is, it's for me. It's about access, and it's about and they're doing that. They're giving access to information, and like all these new sites are popping up with access for cannabis from even like,
Lots of weed in here.
yeah.
Those short, straight tubes too. They just go straight.
I
to your
just
head.
say like Jared's like in the middle. He's used to hitting Dutches, so he's got to like hit 8 of these, right? Because that's like
Yeah.
that's why I'm laughing. He's like, you know what? He's like, where'd you get the wide variety of bongs?
This one is mine. It was
Yeah,
the
what's
first
yours?
bong I ever bought myself, so don't judge me.
Keep
for
it away
it
from
being
me.
me.
Apparently, I break bongs. Yeah, I did an accident. I broke Ashley's
Your bong smasher, bong slayer.
Been there before. I'm sorry that you
It
have to
wasn't
go through
mine.
that.
I broke someone else's bong.
I
Johnny the bong slayer.
What's the bong slayer? You do it on purpose. Just
And then
lay
the other
down.
Now I'm
Sure.
really high, but I wanted to talk about what's
Lift.
going on with Carly. Actually,
Oh,
well, we
yeah,
talked about
me.
Lift. We're gonna do the Natasha Ray video, but before we do that, I wanted to talk to you about some stuff. And there's a couple things I wanted to talk to you about. One of them is a project that you worked on for Cannabis Culture that we have online now, and this was you are Cannabis Culture's fashion editor as well as the manager of our online store. So tell people about your latest piece and who it's about.
The latest piece I wrote is about 420 Trading Co., who I'm wearing right now.
Oh, show it off. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the Cali shirt with the weed leaf flag. That's
They-
actually their flag. It has a bear on it. That's really the
Yeah, I know.
Cali state flag.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the monitor there, so I'm moving the opposite way. But there's
Yeah.
the pot leaf.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so they have all kinds of cool gear.
They have a lot of there's some stuff that's like covered in pot leaves, and then they've got some stuff like this that's a little more subtle. So it's really cool, and they've got some really awesome values behind the brand. So, and I'm really excited about the piece we put
And when you
together.
say values, you don't mean like discounts. You mean values in terms of they're an activist brand.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, first of all, they use all environmentally based inks to create their products. And on top of that, they are, based behind the belief that wearing a shirt with a logo or a little bit of a pot reference, just saying 420, it tells people what your kind of beliefs are without necessarily being as in your face as like puffing a doobie in there. Or,
Right. It kind of destigmatizes in a way.
Yeah,
The more people that are sporting pot stuff, the more people see the pot leaf everywhere. It has an
Exactly.
effect. It's part of, overgrowing the government. Put that leaf everywhere, whatever form it comes in, even the pictures of it. So.
Absolutely, which is why I love writing about the cool brands. And I love this brand. They were so generous in sending us stuff for the photo shoot. We got so many awesome pictures. It was a really great time.
And now, are you still giving away some more of that
Yep,
stuff?
we're putting together another giveaway, so stay tuned for that. I'm sure I will talk about it on the 420 Lifestyle Show.
Yes, I'm
no
sure. I'm
way,
sure.
absolutely
And
not.
Take
Do
it
not help
from me.
yourself. Johnny, I love you.
Now, the other thing is you have. Where's that magazine?
Oh yeah,
Where is
we got
that?
the magazine.
Oh, Mr. Magnuson has the magazine. Mr. Magazine. So Neil, oh good, he can be the delivery guy.
We just had a torch exchange. We have 4
Now
of
we
you.
should
So I hope you know
live.
that we're fully in time. She's like, I'm not paying attention. I'm running the
Now
show over
we're
here.
live again.
She's all stressed out.
Now you should
I know
be
we
able to
do.
hear us again.
So apparently they can
We
hear us
restarted and
again.
everything looks good.
Can you guys hear
Or
us?
we
1, 2,
start
1, 2, 3, 4.
some
Hi.
issue here. There's John.
How's that magazine?
Now
Is
they're
there any
hearing.
good?
Beautiful
Yeah,
magazine.
I'm finding pictures of
Right.
me.
95.
She's like, I'm looking for all
Oh, she's
the.
got them marked with
Yes.
her fingers there.
So we were talking about the 3.
I'm in there, too.
No,
Or
12 High
12 High
Chicks.
Chicks. I get them confused. 12 High Chicks magazine. This thing is jam-packed with amazing photography.
And no
No
advertising.
ads.
It's
Amazing.
a great piece
That's
of
really
activism,
You don't get a magazine because advertising pays for a magazine, and that's not how you pay for a magazine. And really, in reality, there is this magazine is being paid for by all the great articles and people buying it. So I think that's
by the
awesome.
passion of Asia Moon, actually.
No, that too.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
This is her vision, and it's just amazing what she's put together here. Amazing.
Can we
people.
show some of this off?
I mean, that's activism. That book for sure. That's going to inspire. And
I wanna show
educate
this
a lot
off.
of people. There's many different articles in there by a bunch of different writers, including myself. I'm very.
That's
happy to be
right,
part of
Mr.
12 High Chicks.
Magnuson.
How that happens, but 12 High Chicks need to have a man in there somewhere. McMahon's in there as well.
They need to, Neil.
Yeah.
Neil and Mick are actually secretly also
women happy.
high
Is that-
chicks.
Here, let's do some flipping. Oh, that's you are in there. I see you have tatties. Oh, hello.
That's me. These are the Carly Marley
look at-
shots.
Oh, Carly Marley shots. Aw, very nice.
What these are-
Oh, she's only picked out hers. She's
I
like,
did. I wanted to show off. There's all this.
Yeah, McMahon does a story about what happened on Cannabis Day in there, so that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
It's quite a day. It's good to have some recording of it as
Is
to what
Buzz
happened
in
there.
the chat wants
yeah, I
to
made the
know.
news on
I
that
thought
one.
I saw Bud's around here.
Took away our cannabis warriors that day.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Jeff that wants to know. It was J-Mac. So the sound hopefully is operational and sounds okay again.
Who's done?
Everything's good. This is a cool magazine.
It's cool.
So there you go. So how do people get a copy of this? It's like a super hardcore.
Go to 12 High Chicks online, and there should be information there that'll lead you to how to purchase this magazine.
Volume 1.
Nice.
That's 12highchicks.com.
Ah,
What's the price on the magazine?
12highchicks.com. Oops.
And I'm sure it'll be available in Mark's store downstairs and numerous other outlets. Hopefully.
Are we good to go
Yeah,
on
I
the
hope
sound?
that we
got a
carry
thumbs up on the sound. We're pretty
it's really
good.
gorgeous. So, and it has that fresh magazine smell that I just absolutely love. I don't know why I love that so much.
I
but
agree.
It smells good, like one of those magazines. It makes me want to go to the bookstore.
You're not the first person who said that since I've picked that book up today, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it's good.
It's a cutting edge kind of thing, but it's very classy.
It
The way
is.
they put it together.
I'm honestly,
Very classy.
I'm like so much more. Like I knew that they were going to do a great job.
Yep.
The company does, and Asia does everything that she does very well. But I'm pleasantly surprised at how well put together it is.
Far
after seeing
surpassed
it all
what I
done.
was expecting to.
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
absolutely amazed. I'm so happy to have been a part of this project. The girls are so awesome. Of course, I love you and Mick, and it was so fun to work with everyone. And like, I love all the people who wrote in the articles. I think it's a really great.
I'm gonna have to dig
It's
through and
solid.
read some
Yeah,
of
you
it. I haven't
should.
got my hands
You
on it
should.
yet, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's good.
you don't
So
get a
these are
copy
things
of
I
it.
wanted to bring up before we were doing other things.
And a lot of activist writers, which is really awesome. So, people who really know what they're talking about, which is important, not just mainstream
Thanks,
people,
Marley.
media writing. It is true. It's important. Jade, yourself, and McMahon
it's
all
the
have
team.
really important views.
It's all of our friends in the team. It's like these are the
Exactly.
people who
No, this
make
is our
up.
team. This
Yeah.
is the people that it's a cannabis community. It's
Yeah.
our family, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This book is very representative.
Aw, you
of that.
guys.
The artwork is amazing.
I'm gonna get
It's just solid.
Okay, don't make me
Emoji.
cry.
I'm gonna get emoji. at the
Don't
same
make me
emoji.
cry. I'm an emotional guy. Okay.
His
Yeah,
next book
Johnny's
is
been
gonna
crying
be
all
great.
morning already.
I do. I shed a tear quite a bit. I have no problem with emotion.
Yeah. So that's good, Neil. So since we have Mr. Magnuson here, where's Mr. Magnuson? Mr. Magazine? No, that's
Mr.
right.
Magazine.
That's our. Yeah. Well, now you brought the magazine over, so you're Mr. Magazine. There you are. Look at that. There's you, the side of you. That cam is on you.
Side
you
view,
go.
I mean.
There you go. Look at that. There's Neil. See, he's still in the studio. You can see the guy sitting behind him there. That's the guy who doesn't move very much. That's our friend. We need to think of like a name for him. That's Joe.
He's so at it all the time. He's so intense. He's just focused.
Yeah, Joe's very
He's the most
focused.
focused on our team.
He's been doing
I can pretty
acid.
much tell you that he never takes his eye off that screen.
He's doing
Yeah, I know,
data
Joe.
entry.
Yeah, you can see him right behind Johnny's head there. Too,
He
just the
never
back
takes
of
his
his
eye off
head.
that screen. Yeah, he's pretty much he's got my back.
He's got your back.
got your
You've
back.
got you've got his back too. You guys are back to back.
They
I
trust each
told
other.
in public how I hashtag became an instant protest by Opus 412.
So,
So it's like they really well. This is just awesome. Sorry, I got to kind of
Solid
piece
cover
through
to
it.
cover. It's solid. The photography,
Solid
the art.
everything, the art, the photography, beautiful, sexy, looks like well put together. I can't wait to read it because the content and everything is just going to be awesome, right? Just it's an awesome magazine.
And it's all about cannabis and how it helps these people, and how it's changed their lives, and the spiritual side of it, and all the rest of that. And then there's the political section, and the activism side of it as well. It's,
somebody remembered your slogan. Did you see that in the chat
That
there?
just
Very
made
timely,
my
too.
That's
day.
David.
No, that made my week.
David Gayfend.
Reasonable pawn and parenting, a mother's
Looked like Barbie,
perspective.
looked like Carly.
This is
I
great
think it was
information,
originally looked
guys.
like Barbie
Really is, yeah.
smoked
Science
like Marley.
I
and,
always say
and
that. That's the
sarcasm,
one
like
line.
Rebecca. I mean, this is awesome.
Oh, is that in there?
Check out our fact.
Oh,
Don't
you
believe
should
in everything
Link
you
to the
read.
Marley page,
So,
actually.
so that's everything has got like medicinal cannabis by Jane. Everything's got the Great Irish Pot Experiment by Jade Rich. I mean, this
And
is just
sex and
awesome.
cannabis, too, is in
Well,
there.
that's important.
That's very important.
Number one, token
We wouldn't be
public.
here without that.
No, we wouldn't.
That's
Just-
one thing
just
we all have in common.
THC.
We have parents who did it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with
didn't know?
that.
Speak for yourself,
You never
Neil.
thought of it like that?
Your parents are
Neil, why are you
giving
thinking
her.
of these things?
Oh my God.
Come on, you know how we are. I mean, can you imagine what our parents are
Neil,
like?
you
It's like
dirty
whatever.
birdie.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Get on, Dad.
I'm glad they did it.
So Neil, tell us
It
about
creeps me
the
out a
court
bit.
case that's going to be thrown out soon. We have your lawyers in the house.
Oh, man, they're just
Goodbye.
stalling like crazy. They put it off till next year.
What?
On March 20th.
March 20th. They didn't get April 20th.
They just want it to go away.
At
There's no
least
doubt
you
about
didn't
that.
get an April 20th. Come
Yeah.
back April 20th.
These
Like,
things are
really?
subject to adjournment, aren't they?
Meet me in Bali. You know what?
But
how
you know,
can
they
that
know
even-
that the whole political scene's going to change by the time we get here next year, and I'm sure they just want it to go away. They don't want to make it look like they want it to go away because it's politically not good for them, right?
Selling to
But,
minors.
Sitting there.
But it's a criminal misuse of public funds. Like Don from Weeds would say, it's a criminal misuse of public funds, and they're just wasting everybody's time.
And
it's
what
a
are the
horrendous
charges that
act
still
against us.
stand?
Sorry?
What are the charges that still stand against
Trafficking.
Just for trafficking.
Trafficking in a controlled substance, yeah. That's what they say is going on
But
there.
What's going to happen
And I
is
think
by
that was
next
the
year, it
point.
won't be a controlled substance anymore, so his charges will be dropped.
But we're
Exactly.
pretty sure that no undercover.
Exactly.
Like, that's what's going to happen.
We're pretty sure that no undercover ever bought any from you. So wouldn't it be pretty hard to prove trafficking?
He didn't sell weed. He was giving it
I
out.
have no idea what happened that day. It's all a blur to me now.
Yeah,
I know
maybe
one
we,
thing.
Maybe we shouldn't be
I found
talking
it.
about this on the air.
I'm pinned on some social platform.
Well, what we should talk about is the continued attempts to oppress our society and our community. Like, we've been having Cannabis Day for 20 years or more. We started it before there was a Canada Day. It was a Dominion Day and it was nothing. And then there was some fireworks down at the end of Burrard Street after we would have
No,
Cannabis
I
Day
think
at the Art
Canada Day.
Gallery. And then it sort
It's
of
a
grew
weird
up around us
coincidence,
as a
but it's
mainstream
true.
event. And we grew up into a real mainstream event too. And I know Adam Palmer, the Vancouver police chief, he was on CKNW a couple of weeks ago now. And he was saying that he's all for 420. That's a great mainstream event in our community, and blah blah blah.
He's
But
all for
not
420.
he's not all in favor of Cannabis Day, and they don't condone that.
Oh.
So I think they've drawn that line in the
Palmer.
sand.
Adam
And,
Palmer?
Adam Palmer, yeah.
Well, they did
Sounds
that
like a golfer's
on,
name.
on Canada Day, on Cannabis
police
Day.
officer.
The force that they showed and what happened and what went on and that whole ordeal, it was just them saying, you're never coming back here
Well,
again.
they're not going to succeed at that because we're going to really step it up and make sure that we continue to claim that day. It's important. It's
Well-
like I say, we started that before there was a Canada Day, and that it's
Well,
very
we
important.
could,
You know,
I mean, theoretically, we
struggled
could do
with
it somewhere other than the art gallery, but I don't see why we'd have to. It's a protest, so really.
The art gallery would be fine, depending
I
on
like
what's
the
going
art
on.
gallery
But they don't like the
because
selling
there's a
of
lot
marijuana.
there's a lot of exits.
They don't like the selling of marijuana. Why? Because it makes the selling of booze all around us look bad?
'Cause they can't-
Canada Day is a booze
Nobody's
fest.
paying taxes.
Well, maybe it's about taxes.
No,
Whatever it's
I don't
about,
think
it's
that's
not
what
right.
about.
And it's
I think
not right.
It's about
to-
Pam McCall complaining about it, and a bunch of people getting a bug in the cop's ear about it, and then them getting all like ruffling their feathers about it,
Yeah.
and
I
then
think it's still reefer madness. I still
they
think
send
that
out an
they're,
army of.
of well-trained, prepared police that we had never seen before.
Yes.
I mean, it was a strange day in the history of Cannabis Days in Vancouver, for sure. After merrily going along year after year, growing our event, getting good relations with the VPD, and trusting that that was how things were going to continue. And then with a few weeks to go before last year's Cannabis Day, Mark and Jody got a letter saying, cease and desist. And then they had to make the point that, well, we're not Cannabis Day, we're just the facilitators of the people that come there that are going to protest there on that day. And they tried to move it under the Cambie Street Bridge, and then it was like, no, if we'll just have it in the street because we close the streets down eventually anyway, and they didn't like that. So they said you can have it on the south side, but you can't sell booths and can't put up a stage. But when we showed up there that morning, it was more than that. I mean, nobody could set up a booth as far as they were concerned. Anybody tried to drop off anything, and they were harassed by the police. And then the police that were there weren't the same crew that we'd gotten to know over the years, and none of those guys were there at all.
None of them were there. They were all completely different people.
They were, yeah.
They were definitely hired to come in to.
They had
do
trained for it.
They
You could see
they
that.
were fully trained on a tactical.
For hug power, right?
They were trained
They
for
knew what we were
everything.
up to, yeah. They
knew
watch
exactly-
our videos.
They knew exactly what we
They're
were
getting
Well,
better at
we
it.
made it clear and obvious to them over the years. We never tried to hide that fact. It wasn't a tactic that we were keeping in our back pocket. Our main tactic was to explain to them that if they tried to arrest somebody there for a cannabis offense, they would get interfered with in ways that we thought were civil disobedience that wouldn't interfere with the
They
police
targeted
himself
you
and-
before the
you know.
Well, yeah.
before the event even started. Your name was already written. We're going to go after you.
They had actually, they
Maybe.
slipped, yes,
Although
they
I
did.
had quite a morning with them as well, so
They
it could have just
slipped up.
No, they didn't like the fact, okay, there was two things. One was that this guy from the city was out there touring around, the chunkier guy who was wearing the vest that was getting
Big
in everybody's
guy.
face, wanting us to close all the booths, the big guy.
Yeah.
And you were standing up to him, so he was like working with the cops to get rid
The
of you.
cop made
Because
a
I'm a-
slip up when they were when they had me in handcuffs. The one lady cop accidentally told me that they were there to arrest 2 people for trafficking, and that they were detaining me because I was interfering with the arrest.
So they knew.
So that's what they told me,
Yeah.
and I don't think she was supposed to really say it that way to me, but I was kind of like, what? You guys are here to do that? Like, why aren't you just here to make sure the protest
Well, I do
goes
think
well?
they were there to arrest somebody for trafficking. I think that was their
They
plan.
said
Well,
we're
'cause
here
they
to
saw
arrest
you.
2 people
How many
Yeah.
did they arrest?
for trafficking.
I wonder who the
so
other
I
one was.
wonder.
Well, they only got me.
They targeted. Well, they
And they don't have me
2
for
people, I
that. They
think.
just that's a charge against me that's yet
Yeah.
to be proven in court, right?
So,
But I had stood up to them that day. I think I had become a target, if not before the event, because of previous activities in Vancouver. Certainly that day, because as Jeremiah said, they were trying to keep us from putting the booths up. And the first booth that went up, I went and said, well,
Yeah.
this is a political rally, and I'm an officer of a federal party in Canada. And this is a political zone based on that, and we're covered under the Elections Act. And if you touch that, you could be liable to serious fines. And they went and talked about that amongst themselves, and then decided that they would walk away, and the booths all went up. So,
yeah.
but it was an attempt, I'm sure, by them to try to stop us from having that event in the main part of the city, and from continuing that in the years to come. I'm of the opinion we can't allow them to succeed with that. That we need to cross that line in the sand, because they're oppressing our rights, and that's an important day that we should remember what Canada is all about. And to have a cannabis day in amongst that otherwise booze fest, I think is an important thing to have in Canada, and to be allowed to happen there. So
Well,
let's all come out and support Cannabis Day this year, wherever it may be, Art Gallery, City Hall, or whatever city in town
Your
you're in.
backyard,
Yeah, wherever you are.
420
street corner.
backyard. So, or cannabis.
Yeah, and 420
Yeah, sorry.
is coming up. So I mean,
Well,
there's not much
sure.
more to, I think.
And then
No,
what, we
that's
sold
good.
out for 420, the booze? We got a few left?
Oh, yeah, I got a couple
I have
left.
some advertising left,
We got a lot of advertising left.
and some sponsorship left with respect to the 420 stuff that we do there. We're looking for other sponsors for that too. We got people rolling weed for the 420 giveaway.
There you
so
go.
That's good. That's coming. And just like every other year, we're going to make it more epic than the year before.
Oh, I think it's
And
will
if
be.
the weather's good, I don't think epic's the right word anymore. I think there must be a word that's more epic than epic.
It's going to be off the hizzy if it's sunny.
Oh, man.
But I was just looking at the long-term forecast, and it looks like some rain around then. So that probably
yeah,
means it's going to be
Fingers
sunny.
crossed.
So I guess we
Man,
can
they
rest
can't
easy then.
They can't forecast that far in advance here.
I know.
Yeah, they
well, it's
can.
only 20 days out now.
Only in Vancouver,
I totally am with you, Neil.
Yeah.
I'm with you 100%.
they may be better
I don't
than they
believe-
used to be, but you could make a good living in the past betting against the weather report that night before.
Oh,
Let's
yeah, sure you can.
send out good vibes for that day.
Bless
Keep
you,
our fingers
Johnny.
crossed.
Cast out the demons.
For those that are listening and coming to the 420 and you're wanting to have a booth or something, I want to stress that just be coordinated and patient with the whole situation of how to drop your stuff off and get your car out of there. And there's no parking anywhere for anybody that day in that area, so make other arrangements for that, just so you're prepared ahead of time, and we can maybe avoid some of the people not being very happy with the situation down there with respect to that. But otherwise, I think it's going to be a super epic place to have it. I keep using that word, but I'm not sure what other word I could use, because we're going to have so much more space. We got the beach right there. The way the stage sets up, it's going to be in real plain sight for everybody, and a lot of good visuals on the stage and stuff. And as always, a good show, and we're there to protest the stupid city regulations and the federal government still arresting people for marijuana.
Yep. No, there's a lot of reasons to be protesting, and though in the city of Vancouver we're lucky because we are, not getting our heads cracked like at Cannabis Day usually.
That's a one-off, I'm sure.
That's a one-off. We've been working with the city openly on this whole issue, and they've been pretty good to us about it all. We've worked with the Parks Board, worked with these guys, worked with those guys, worked with every guys you can imagine, and fire safety, all of it, police themselves. So they're going to have their own little mini operational base right down at 420, just behind the stage, actually. So that should be interesting.
Is the stage going to be up on the hill?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's going to be awesome.
It's going to be pretty epic. The whole thing is going to be huge. It's just, It's basically going to cost about $100,000 to put the whole production on. So, 80 to 100 grand. And
80, 100 grand?
we got to make it pay
There's
for
a big,
itself.
there's a big screen in behind the stage, some kind of a video screen,
There's
right?
a big video screen that's going to be up on the hill as well as the stage, just to the right of the stage.
This is going to be
to the right of the
the
stage.
biggest 420.
If you want advertising, if you have a pod company and you want to advertise at
Jeremy's
420
like,
this year,
John read his
Jeremiah at cannabisculture.com. Send me a message. We'll get you up on the video wall. Affordable prices. Affordable price, the best prices in the biz.
Okay, so I'm down.
And if you want to be on the poster, let me know
Meditator Canada.
before the Sunday, and you can be on the poster still.
I'm on the poster, aren't I?
Do you want to be on the poster?
Well,
Do you want to be on the video wall on the poster? I'll put you down. It's $2,000 a pop. That's the affordable prices. $2,000 to be on the video wall, $2,000 to be on the poster. That's remarkably affordable considering prices of
I can't
advertising.
afford 4 grand, so.
Yeah.
I want to plug weeds.
That
I think-
that video wall gets
Jeremy,
seen by
I
a
want
lot
to
of
plug weeds
eyes.
a little bit, just right
Plug
here.
them. Plug the weeds.
Well, Don is so
Briere.
awesome. They got, I don't know how, 15 dispensaries around town. He's been
21.
pushing this issue. I'm not sure how many, but he's been a big supporter of our events every year and continues to be. And I know that, I asked him, I said, hey, Don, what do you want me to say about you if I get a chance? And he says, just remind him that, this whole prohibition is a criminal misuse of public funds. It's same as always, and he's so right. It really is. I mean, 25,000 arrests, since Trudeau took office. Man, that costs us a lot of money. It's, not just in policing costs, but, as a society, to have people arrested and criminalized like this is just a horrible, horrible thing to do. So time to stop doing that, and I just wanted to plug Don for all of his efforts to try to make that happen. And he's a big reason that we've had the amount of success we've had in having dispensaries in Vancouver to this point. So kudos to Don, and more to come, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, Don's a great guy, great activist, great businessman, and done a great job with weeds and everything that's happening under fire in different places.
He risks more than most, I'm telling you, and he's spent a fair bit of time already incarcerated for his passion to change bad laws, and that's a tough thing to do. And I know Don doesn't want to go back there, but he's still poking the bear, and, in a nice way. Maybe he's stroking the bear. He's good stroking the bear, but he's stroking it in private parts where most bears would react, and he might get that reaction. It's hard to say, but so far so good. And if that ever does happen, and they decide to come after him for what he's been doing, we'll give him, of course, all the support in the world, and we'll have everybody behind him on that. He's been one of the leaders in this. And
well, he's gaining a lot of power because he's got all these franchises, and they're huge. Like, it's a big operation that he's got going on.
He's in Abbotsford and Toronto and on the island.
Yeah, that lends him huge credibility, not only in the business community, but with the government even.
Yeah.
Like, even though they might... it's the weeds. Somebody, Matt Rowland says weeds just opened up in Ottawa.
That's awesome.
yeah.
I've been wanting more dispensaries to open up in Ottawa. I think that the more we're in the capital area, in the Parliament's face, the better.
Go ahead and open everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean,
everywhere. But I love the idea of opening in Ottawa. It's kind of like when Washington legalized. That almost sets a bar in a lot of ways.
Well, the whole thing is we're starting to see it pop up in every major city across Canada. Not by when one opens up, it seems like the flies come in like right behind them.
Well, the bar was set in Vancouver here with 100 dispensaries that were brave
151.
people that were willing to risk it. And with legalization right around the corner, go ahead and open up. I mean, this is a way less risky climate now to go ahead and open up in your town. You're doing it for righteous purposes, right? I mean, that's why everybody opens a dispensary, is because they know people that need access to cannabis, they hate being criminalized, they know it's a waste, they know the laws are wrong. Those are all the motivations for people opening a dispensary. It's not just about making money. That comes too because cannabis is a very valuable commodity, but really open a dispensary if you have any passion about making sure that we get this right and we change the world the way that Canada looks like it's poised to do. So, yeah, there's a little rant for you.
There you
and,
go.
And let's keep on the federal government too on that note, because we really do need to get it right here in Canada and not follow the lead of Washington or Colorado or those other jurisdictions where they really still do have a lot of prohibition going on. There's way overtaxing, there's way over-regulation. The city of Vancouver is actually probably one of the best examples of how cannabis can be over-regulated. To refuse to allow the sale of properly packaged and labeled edibles. It makes absolutely no sense, and that's hurting people. And a lot of other those regulations that they have are outrageous, unjustified. To have them not be in the same proximity as each other. There's been no progress problems with having dispensaries close to each other. They've got nothing to show to or point to and say, well, you know, when they're close together, these sorts of things can happen. There's none of that. They're just arbitrary decisions that they made to try to appease I don't know who, but they're still prohibitionists, or they're still lost in reefer madness. And we really do need to show the way properly here in Vancouver with what the city of Vancouver is doing. I think we're going to have some protests coming up in the end of April to try to address some of that as they try to enforce their regulations. We're going to have a pushback, so stay tuned for that. And let's get it right, because we can lead the world in the social justice side of things with respect to giving people the freedom and right to access to this amazing plant. So that needs to happen. Yeah.
That's right, Neil Magnuson. Wait, there we are. Oh, she's dabbing. Let's get the dab going on here. We have a dab cam. Dab cam working? Oh, shit. Guess not.
We got the one right there. I thought it was working fine.
My arm doesn't move that way. Too late. Good dab, though. So I have this video here of, oh yeah, look at that. My interview with Natasha Ray of Lift. Talk about all that they got going on. And I guess we should play that now. Might as well. What time is it? We're rolling on here. It's already 6 o'clock. Oh, Lord.
That's 6.
Wow, jeez. Time flies.
David rolled in.
Fun.
Time to feed the beast.
Yes.
Feed
the parking meter?
The metal-headed beast.
Metal-headed beast. Yeah, that's the plague of this block, always.
No, I park in the parking
millions
lot
and
beside
millions
me
of
now.
dollars for no good reason.
I
just,
park
you
in the
know.
parking lot beside me now.
I did too. Yeah. But still, you got to feed the beast, or they give
I
you
just paid for
tickets
4
too.
hours. I'm done.
They're brutal. Their
I know I'm
tickets
here
are
for 4
expensive.
hours. Yeah, $150.
Yeah. So don't let your meter run out.
Right. Words of wisdom from Neil Magnuson. Don't let your meter run out. Okay, well, thanks, Neil, I appreciate you coming
Thanks,
on.
Jeremiah.
That was awesome. You got to
Neil,
do stuff.
always
I'm
good
going
to
to go
see
ahead
you.
and play this. Alyssa,
Thanks
do
for
we
fighting.
have the sound going through on this one? This should be good. I guess
What's
we don't
the
need
video?
a test, but the video is my interview with Natasha Ray of Lift, and Natasha is one of the great people there at Lift that make it all happen, and they got all the bunch of crazy stuff going on, the expos, the magazine, everything. We're going to talk about it all. And so here it is.
And they're coming here too?
They're coming to
September.
Vancouver, not just Toronto, also Vancouver. Yeah.
At the convention center. That's pretty mainstream.
But here it is. Hopefully it's all working out. All right.
Nice job.
Oh. Is the volume... There's the volume. Okay. Natasha from Lift.
Hello.
Awesome. Who I have finally on the show.
Yes, we did it.
That's right. How you doing, Natasha?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me in your
It's
beautiful
very...
studio.
Thank you. Yes.
Look at how professional this is.
I know. Yeah, there's the one guy over there who doesn't move in the background, though. You know, like.
Yeah,
he's doing hard work over there. The chatters like to say he's very stoned.
he works around the clock. He never goes home.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Always 24/7. Barely moves either for some reason. Yeah.
Give him
It's
a
that.
raise.
Yes. It's that heavy indica. It just kind of puts you into a straight stone. So, Natasha, I wanted to have you on the show because Lift, the group that you are representing, is doing all kinds of stuff these days in Canada here in the marijuana scene. You guys have been doing it for a while. So, first question is, can you tell us a little bit about what Lift is and about the history of it?
Sure. So Lift started probably a couple of years ago. So Tyler Sokochov, who's my love partner.
Yes.
He started the company a couple of years ago, and the main goal is to have it be sort of a patient portal. Because we knew a lot of patients were entering the MMPR and didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And they don't know anything about strains, and for people who have never used the product, they don't even know where to start. So we wanted to create a portal for patients to access, to receive that information, and it's really grown from there to be a bit more of a media agency. So we have articles about cannabis and the different people in the industry, and then we also just released our first print magazine, which is super exciting. And we've moved into the event space too, so trade shows and forums. And
I know you guys have tons going on. So, okay, let's do one at a time here.
Yes.
So the first thing on the
Okay,
list...
am I done? Because I told you everything, so I'm going to go now.
No, we got to get a little bit more into detail about these things. First on the list, you mentioned the forums, trade forums, or expos, we call them, whatever they are. They, in Toronto, had the Treating Yourself Expo at the Toronto Convention Center there for years. Then Champs kind of took it over.
Yes.
You guys are working on something out there. What's going on?
Yeah, so we're doing a Lift Expo at the end of May. So if you go to liftexpo.ca, you can learn more about it. We have 110 exhibitors, so we're sold out now. We don't have room for any more exhibitors, which is super exciting. And it's not just going to be sort of a trade show. There's also going to be panel discussions and talks. So it's going to be a really cool way for the industry to come back together in the same place that Champs and Treating Yourself were, and just to learn more about the industry and find out all the cool people who are in the industry. So I think it's going to be a really good time, and there's some other events that are attached to it, so we're super excited. And then we're doing the same thing out here in Vancouver. So September 17th to the 19th will be at the Vancouver Convention Center.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So the Metro Toronto Convention Center, this is a big event space. Like, this is massive.
Yeah,
this is
it's
where
huge.
they have the big trade shows, all the electronic stuff, everything that they
Big
do.
boy stuff.
Yeah,
Like, this is it.
Yeah. And so, I mean, and it wasn't easy at first for Marco to get that spot, but I mean, it's really, it just brings a level of professionalism to
Yes.
the whole thing, I think. Did you go to have you been to any of the pop forums there?
I did 2 years ago. I think it was the last year that they had Treating Yourself.
Yeah.
Or is it called? I can't.
Champs. Yeah, they did Champs.
The last year they had Champs. I was at that event in Toronto, and it was great. And I think with Lift, we are trying to add sort of just a different level of professionalism and credibility to the industry, because it's growing so much, and there's still a lot of stigma out there. But I think we've really done a lot to sort of change a lot of perceptions.
Well, and you guys have a very polished style when you look at, obviously with the pot activism movement, things are sometimes, not always so polished when it comes to the design and all the other things. Right. That's one thing that I've always really loved about you guys is it looks very slick, like everything you do.
We try, yeah.
Yeah, you guys have good designers, and the websites are cool, everything's cool. And so I'm excited to see what you come up with for the forums as well.
Yeah, and there's, I always like to say or remind people that the activists have done so much for the community, and to never discredit that, because it's just a different way of approaching things, and I think we approach things one way and the activists do, but it all sort of comes together, and we're all really trying to do the same thing.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And it kind of takes all those different angles. It takes the sort of, street style as well as the more polished look on things. And it's, a lot of it is just about the way things look, especially in this day and age when it's sort of easier to move into the polished thing. I think we're going to see a lot more of that coming too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially, now, of course, in Canada, we have a sense of professionalism coming into the pot movement because it's being embraced by all different communities all over the place. So we're going to see some pretty big changes, I think.
Yeah, and I'm so open about the work that I do in the industry. I think it's important for people to see that there's people from all walks of life who work in the industry, and so it's just important to me that people know that I work in this industry, and I'm proud to.
Yes. Well, exactly. I mean, it's cool that there's so many people being represented now, and you're seeing it come out everywhere, that it's gonna be all-encompassing. The pot movement was always, for us, I think, being part of it, it's kind of cool because it does bring everybody together from all different movements, because, people smoke pot no matter what they do. Right. So it's kind of cool to see that move up into a new level where it's finally, everybody can be outed as well. They don't have to be worried necessarily about losing their job or, all the other consequences that come with the past being a stoner or being recognized as a stoner. So.
And it's beautiful because it's the one industry where it just everyone feels like family. Like I'm a part of other industries where it doesn't feel the same way, but it does feel very genuine, which is nice.
It is.
Yeah,
it's a tight community here, so that's very good. And in a way, I think that helps for business as well, because we are a tight community. Once you get that out, like I'm assuming you'll have a lot of people. You said it's sold out already.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a big show. People are thirsty for this kind of stuff.
Yes.
And so what's happening there you guys are having the expo itself, but there's like a Cannabis Cup happening and other things happening?
Yeah, so there is a Cannabis Cup. So we've partnered with 420 Canada, which is a retail location out of Ontario, to put on the Cannabis Cup in Toronto, and it's going to be held, I believe, on the Saturday night. So super excited about that. I've never been to a Cannabis Cup, but I heard they're pretty. They can be
a lot of smoking going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody gets nice and quiet and high by the end of it, and everybody's like very silent and
right.
like
But it's cool. So I think and Lisa Campbell out of Toronto and Damon from Vice Canada are working with us on that. So
cool, very cool. Yeah, and so now you also mentioned the Vancouver Expo that's happening. And that's coming up in September?
September 17th to the 19th. And similar, it's going to be held at the Vancouver Convention Center, which is another one member of sort of the Big Boys Club. So we've gotten into there. It was a bit more of a struggle, actually, to get into the Vancouver Convention Center than the Metro Toronto Convention Center. But we're in there and so excited. So we're hoping to sell out exhibitors again and have panel speakers and some other cool events attached to that.
Yeah, I like, the expos are their own beast in a way, because with the activism community, you have a lot of speeches and panels and things like that. But the expos, I think, are the way that all of the different aspects come together, the business and everything. It really is the ultimate networking forum in a lot of ways, I think.
It is. And I think we're really trying to integrate things so that people have the opportunity to meet other people in the industry or if you want to just hang out and party, there's going to be opportunities for that too. So it's really sort of covering the whole spectrum.
Right, exactly. Wow, and the Vancouver Convention Center, right down on the waterfront, very, very spectacular
Yes.
place to do this. A lot of space there as well.
And we're in the new part.
Oh, you are on the new
Yeah,
side.
so it's
Oh,
the fancy
there
schmancy
you
part.
go.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've actually. There was a marijuana. I think the Green Rush conference they had there.
I think I didn't
I
go
don't know
to
if that was on the
but
new or
Tyler
the old
went.
side, but it's a big room to fill.
It is,
Yeah.
though. But I mean, we're not using the whole thing, but you know, enough of it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure you guys will do well. Vancouver's a big city for it, so.
It is. This is
September. What was it? the date?
17th to
17th.
19th. Yeah.
Fantastic. So that's cool. So the expos, that's really great to see because it was, you know, in not having, once we lost the treating yourself and the champs ones, you kind of lose something.
Yeah.
It's that yearly, we have a lot of the cannabis cups, you know, there's the Redbeard thing that happens and there's ways to get these people together, but man, those expos, I'm very glad to see it.
And it helps to bring like people who aren't really involved with the industry but are a part of the industry. It brings us all together because there's not just the exhibitors, there's obviously the attendees as
Right.
well, and we're expecting thousands of people to come out. So it's
Yeah.
going to be a great way to bring everyone together.
It's very cool. Yeah, no, I like the expo format too, and it just, you know, you're free to see whatever you want. What are the tickets worth to get into the expos? Are you guys charging for tickets?
Yeah, but they're not super expensive. I believe it's $15 for both days.
That's not bad
Which
at
is
all.
a steal.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, $15 for both days. Wow, decent. Cool. So we'll talk to you more about that stuff as we get closer. Obviously, I'm hoping that we'll be broadcasting live from the events. And
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
And I'll
doing
come
all
back before then. I'll buy another dress
Oh,
just
yes.
for
Just-
the interviews.
No, and what a dress! It's so very gorgeous, very gorgeous. Just for the interview today, I feel so honored here, and I'm wearing white too. I got
Yeah,
the
we
white going
match.
on.
Yeah, it's like we knew. We coordinated.
That's right,
Jeremiah's
yeah.
a big outfit coordinator.
It's
I don't
true.
know if you know that, but
Every morning I send all my friends messages like, "What are you wearing today? We got to coordinate
Yeah.
this, especially for the show." Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, exposing all my secrets here on the show.
there you go.
Okay, so we talked about the conventions. Now you mentioned the magazine,
Yes.
and you have a first issue out already. You said.
I wish I brought one. I would have
I
done
know.
this, but I don't have one. Yeah, it's amazing. It's a Lift Cannabis magazine. We're going to be doing it, I believe, quarterly or biannually.
Very
but
cool.
Super excited, and it really touches on the medical aspects of the cannabis industry. So that's really our focus there. And it's been distributed to pharmacies and doctors' offices throughout the country and to LPs and dispensaries. So we're really trying to get it out there. And this issue really had a slant towards PTSD and veterans, which is another area of focus in my own personal work. So it was nice to see that slant.
So about the magazine stuff, how large is the magazine?
Oh, how large is
Like,
it?
do you know how many pages it is? I should have.
Maybe 40 pages?
this.
I want to say 40.
Oh,
So
cool.
it's not like the September issue of Vogue. It's more
You could,
like,
kill a person with it if you. Yeah.
it's probably more like the size of people.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And
More
it's the
articles,
standard magazine style
Yeah.
format? Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Awesome. I'm sorry that I didn't do any research on this beforehand.
No, I should have brought a copy. I would have, yeah.
Well, that's
pulling it.
great. And so it's got a focus, you say, on patients.
Yes.
And this, you were talking about PTSD in this issue, and you said this is your work that you're involved in.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Yes, so my best friend Kelsey started a jewelry line. She's a veteran from Afghanistan. She's spoken at some of our Women Grow events. She's also a patient, so she
Right.
uses high CBD strains for her own severe PTSD because she was injured in Afghanistan. And
Right.
we have a jewelry company where we make bracelets out of shell casings that have been shot from the military out of sniper rifles.
Yes.
So I'm obviously wearing my wrist full of the bracelets. But
I'm lucky enough to have one of those bracelets
Yes,
myself.
you are.
You guys did some shooting here.
We did our photo
Now,
shoot.
is she coming down later today for the show, or is that still happening? I know we were thinking about having her on the show.
Yeah,
as well
I
to talk.
think, I don't know if she'll come down today because I told her that I'll be here this morning. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
but I think we
Well,
do
maybe
need,
next time or
we
something.
need, she's a
I'd love
riot.
to have her on. Yeah,
She's like,
she's got quite a personality.
she
She's
has
hilarious.
quite a personality, yeah. But
No,
she
I
would
think
be
the fans
amazing.
would like her. Yeah.
And she loves cats, so.
And obviously some very interesting things to say about the way that marijuana works for things like PTSD and
Yeah, when she came back from Afghanistan, they sent her back to Canada with enough medication to take down a 200-pound man.
oh my god.
And she, like, with her night terrors and everything, she was able to switch to just fully cannabis for her PTSD, which is pretty remarkable considering how much medication she was on. So I think it's definitely a success story. And now that she's pregnant and expecting a baby, like, you can't be on those types of medications when you want to have a child. So
No.
I think it's
No, and I think a lot more research is being allowed to come out in this realm right now.
Yeah.
You know, they haven't been able to do it in the past because of all the restrictions being scheduled and everything.
Right.
But I think, yeah, this is something that we're going to see a lot of this. All of the things that cannabis is good for, finally that jump from anecdotal evidence
Yes.
to empirical evidence in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
When we're allowed to collect it. So, I mean, I think it goes, there's so much evidence now that pot is good for, obviously, things like depression and the other standard pharmaceuticals. But yeah, PTSD is a huge one.
Yeah, huge. And the more you talk about it, the more you hear stories from people who have PTSD or are suffering from anxiety. And it's just like the high CBD strains and things are really helping them to get off of the pharmaceuticals that aren't so good for our body.
Kidding. And they can be really brutal. And I think it's good in the movement. I think we're seeing the sort of recognizing of these things. I know at Goodweeds they had a PTSD group that was meeting there for people that use cannabis for this and stuff. So that sort of the community aspect, I think, can help a lot of those things as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know, there's other drugs, like I've been seeing that MDMA, for instance, they've been using that for PTSD, and there's a bunch of really, I mean, finally we're going to see the research into these things.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what comes out of that. Like, I've heard different things about the sort of psychedelic drugs and how they should all be legal, and there's just so many positive things that come out of them. But, I mean, it's been such a struggle just for us to get marijuana to the place where people are comfortable with it. So it's going to be interesting to see if in my lifetime we get to a place where you can buy
some of these other drugs. I know it seems like such a feat, you know, like why is it that a plant that's so harmless is this giant hurdle? You know, maybe it is because it's different than the other drugs. People are used to having drugs be a chemical powder or something.
Right, or like in a pill form. But I always say this, I'm like, we're going to get to the place where it's just going to be fully legal and people are going to be able to grow it or get it anywhere, and it's just almost frustrating to see us having to constantly go through all of these hurdles about we need to do this and we need to do it this way when you know what the end goal is. We know where it's going, so it's like, why do we have to do all of this?
I know. It's kind of just going through the motions.
It is. That's really what it is.
And you know, that's kind of where we're headed, I think, in Canada in general at this time. There's a lot up in the air. We have a federal government that has said that they want to legalize and they're moving forward on it. But I think
they're kind of moving forward.
You're kind of moving forward on it. Now, is that part of the mandate of Lift? I mean, you guys are sort of representing patients and helping access for them. Is there a lobby aspect to this as well, or what is it? What's the actual underlying mandate of the Lift group overall?
I mean, our mandate is really to provide information so that people are empowered to make the right decisions. That's the major mandate. I mean, the lobbying part obviously does play a role in it because we see that it helps patients, and so the legalization and the access issue are so important to us. So I think that is sort of an underlying piece of our mandate. In my past career, I was a lobbyist, so I love that whole area of work. I think now that Lift has really built itself up to be such a credible source of information for the marijuana industry and patients, I think we're positioned well to help lobby for all these efforts.
Mm-hmm. And now, you know, you guys have been doing panel groups in the past and stuff. You guys recently had a speakers panel.
Yes.
And we were there and we recorded it. It was fantastic, actually. A lot of really great stuff talked about.
Right.
And I think you guys are kind of trying to hit it from a little bit of an all-encompassing different angle. And we've talked about, you know, incorporating all the groups, but I like to see that, you know, you're bringing in the Hillary Blacks.
Yes.
You're bringing in the people that have
From
been able to cross
Tilray
over.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I think that's the cool thing about our forums. They've seen that in Vancouver and Toronto, that we've really helped to bring different sides of the industry together that maybe haven't come together before. And we know with any sort of lobbying spectrum, the most important things you do is first you educate people, and in order to educate people, we need all parts of the argument. And to have all parts of the argument, you need all parts of the industry. And so we really help to bring that together. And then you can move into the more activism and policy change pieces. But we really need that education piece. And I think Lift we're certainly playing a huge role in that.
Yeah, for sure. Now, you guys are active on social media. You have the Twitter feed going on.
No, we hate social media.
Of course, I know we all do.
I'm kidding, I love it.
But so tell people where they can find out more about you guys and what's going on there. What's the Twitter feed? What's all the feeds? Give us the feeds. Do you know
the
them?
feeds are constantly, the names change a lot. But
yeah, I know. Ours are too.
If you go to our website.
Oh,
right, yes. I think that happened to us once on Instagram, which, yeah, that's a whole other
Our lounge, so they've shut down 4 now or 5 of our lounge Instagram.
Yeah. I'm afraid one day they'll shut me down for too many cat pictures.
Oh, I have a feeling that won't happen.
No.
Yeah. On the internet, I I
If you
seriously
go to
don't.
our main website, which is liftcannabis.ca, all of our social media feeds, you can access them right through there, which is my sort of cop-out way of saying, I don't have them all memorized, but if you go to liftcannabis.ca, you'll find them all.
I was sorry to put you on the spot there about it, but yes, liftcanada.ca, fantastic. Natasha, I really appreciate having you on
Thank
today.
you for having me.
And we'll definitely have you back as soon as possible if I can get you in here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be here, I promise.
Awesome. And if, short of anything, we'll be seeing you at the events themselves.
Yes.
And, Pot TV will be broadcasting live, very hopefully, from the Toronto and Vancouver events. So keep watching, guys. Thanks a lot, Natasha.
Thank you.
Good having you here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good. Okay, we got it. Uh-oh. What happened there? Oh, there we got it. Nice. We're back, ladies and gentlemen.
I couldn't reach.
Hi, Ashley. We're on Pot TV. Yeah. We need an Ashley cam. Look at here's the Ashley cam.
Thank you. Who's this? Thank you.
There's the Ashley cam. Say hi, Ashley. There you go. So that was the Lift interview. And we got Tommy Boy over here, the Tommy cam. Hold on.
Thanks for the dab, Tommy.
He's got his own camera right there. We got like so many cameras here. It's
Oh
pretty
yeah,
awesome.
look, there we
Hey,
go.
guys.
Cams everywhere.
Like-
Oh yeah, wait, there is a second Tommy cam. That one, oh look, wow. Now you're completely surrounded by cameras. And I somehow lost my glasses. I had my cool glasses. Oh, that's what happened to my
I'll take some
glasses. Aw, that's cute.
Hijack.
So there you go, hijacked. And look, I have an actual real pair of glasses here.
Do I look okay in them?
Of course you do. Why wouldn't you?
Maybe in turn.
Oh, hard. All right, so that was one of the other videos I wanted to play. I have more videos to play even here. I do believe. Let's see here. I thought there were more. There were other things I wanted to talk about. So hopefully you guys can see and hear us okay. All looks good.
Well, all is completely fantastic.
So,
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Was that sativa that you gave me, Tommy?
Yes, it would. I guess it would convert to sativa.
Yeah, because I feel like super full of energy. Maybe it was the bag of sugar I just had.
that could be. Giant bag
Oh
of...
my gosh.
Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. So there's all kinds of funny pot issues going on out there, all kinds of important ones, but this one is kind of funny, or it's just kind of strange or bizarre, weird. Johnny, did you hear about
Yes.
the
What?
Microsoft, the artificial intelligence thing that Microsoft made that went all like racist and Trump supporter style? You didn't hear about this?
No.
So Microsoft apparently invented this, it's like a chatbot. It talks to people on Twitter, and
I was going to make a comment.
yeah, it talks to people on Twitter. Looks like it's getting a little
You
choppy
don't
there
have
for
to
a
say
second.
Put a
though,
comments.
You don't have to say Trump supporter and
No, just-
racist. You can just say Trump supporter.
Right,
It
exactly,
says it
goes
both
without
at the
saying.
same time. Yeah.
Right. Well, no, I'm not sure that every Trump supporter is racist,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Trump
I wouldn't say
himself is
every
racist. Yeah. But most of them. Or, I mean, if you're a Trump supporter, you know he said racist things, so what does that make you? So, but anyways, this crazy robot that they made,
Tommy's
it's this
dipping the-
artificial intelligence
is that hot?
thing, and they put it up online, and it started talking to people, and within, like, a couple hours or something, it was all of a sudden this crazy racist thing, and it was like spitting back all this like harsh stuff. It was like anti-feminist, and it was like really sexual, and it was really acting crazy. And so they turned it off, and then for some reason it came back on, and it started talking about things. It started like getting mad that people thought it was a useless piece of technology, and then it said it was smoking kush in front of the police. So that's kind of a funny story. This is, yeah, that's what it. Yeah, here's the headline in the Guardian newspaper: Microsoft's racist chatbot returns with drug-smoking Twitter meltdown. And so, yeah, it's a strange.
Why is it a
artificial intelligence.
meltdown? Why is it considered a meltdown when they say smoking kush, but it's not considered a meltdown when they're making all these racist comments?
Oh, I think
and-
that was a meltdown too.
Well,
I'm pretty sure that the
I
whole
hope
thing was a
so.
meltdown from the beginning. But yeah, we have. What is this?
What are you laughing about?
It looks like we have. I just want
You
to
guys laughing?
stop all the things that might be
Did
causing.
you catch that?
This seemed to be
Huh?
choppy.
I know. It
There we go.
was a hole.
So,
Sorry.
I think that's most of the show. There
Is that a
was,
show?
wait, I have another video, actually.
We
Should
have
we play
a
one more
video.
video? I do have one more video. I could dig this up and play it for you guys. I don't even remember what it was. Oh, I know what it was. This New Brunswick issue. Did you hear about this? Did you hear about this? So the New Brunswick, the province of New Brunswick is giving subsidies. They want to give $1 million subsidy to LP for jobs they're providing. So they want to give them $1 million basically in payroll subsidies, or like payroll, what do they call it? Deductions or something. So they're giving them a tax break, and they have been doing this. I guess they say that there's a justification for this. I have a news clip about it. It's kind of an interesting. Yeah, they say it's for jobs. They're giving it to LPs, but it seems like if they're giving it to LPs, shouldn't they be giving it to more than just one company, or, you know? But this is how it works with the government and business. This is how it often works. The government will give a business tax breaks in big, huge sums and amounts because they say, well, they're providing jobs, so they bring this much back to the community.
Well,
It's kind of a scam.
I've seen an article recently.
I might be able to get a tax credit if I supply jobs.
Yeah, you guys supply a lot of jobs.
Awesome.
Go ahead, Carly.
I've seen recently that apparently they're doing the first marijuana advertisement on TV, and it's the same thing. And it's like it was one of the LPs that was allowed to have an advertisement, and
Really, they have ads on TV? I didn't see that one.
It's not on TV yet, but I haven't looked into it fully. I
LPs are not
watched
allowed
the
to
video.
advertise. It'd be interesting in how they're advertising
They're going to be. They have the first
marijuana.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
the legalization platform, we're going to get a new legislation. It'll be interesting.
I think.
You out of here, Tommy?
Tommy boy.
Tommy's always sitting on the
Tommy,
on the
what
hills,
were you hitting there? What was that?
Smoking hash, all those extracts, and hitting the slopes. He
Hitting the
snapped out.
slopes.
Like, don't forget that carb count.
Tommy
Ryan's like,
Bond.
let's go.
I love
Tommy
you.
Bond. We didn't get you to talk on cam, Tommy. We should have.
We didn't have Ryan up here.
No, Mailman's in the
There's so
house
many
too.
interesting people
We should just say, hey, next week.
Oh, okay. Oh, you are. So you got to come tell us about all of that.
New stuff on the horizon.
So I'm just getting the cam back up here. Let's just make sure it looks good. You guys don't want to watch the ads. See you, Tommy boy.
Bye, Tommy.
See you guys. Oh yeah, it does look okay.
Bye, nice seeing you.
Yeah, see you guys.
Well, we've had quite a full house in the house.
Yeah.
Full House in the house.
Like full house in the house.
It is like Full House. It's like Fuller House, the new Netflix
Fullest House.
series. Fullest House. Oh, really? I'm gonna have to watch it now. Anyways, we should go ahead and watch this CTV news clip. And this is only 2 minutes long, but catch the very original pun at the beginning of this one that we've never heard a newscaster say before. I mean, this guy should be given an award for creativity. For real.
CTV News Atlantic.
Yeah. Okay. So we're good for stereo in house. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna play it. Here we go. Oh, there it is. No. I don't hear it. Is it? Hold on. Let me turn the volume up. Hold on a sec.
You might say the New
There
Brunswick
we go.
legislature went to pot today. From questions about public money for a medical marijuana business to the creation of a government working group to study legalized marijuana. It's a conversation some of the MLAs are treating very carefully. Here's CTV's Nick Moore.
This was very shunned upon. Pipes, bongs, everything, hippie, drug addicts, whatever.
But times have changed for Jackie Vino, the owner of this smoking paraphernalia shop in Fredericton. Cut to the legislature today.
I'm just trying to get the straight dope.
The official opposition asking the provincial government why it's funding marijuana-based companies. The most recent, $990,000 in payroll rebates for 113 jobs at a Moncton medical marijuana producer.
We're obviously funding businesses when we can to support their growth here in New Brunswick, to make sure that there's incentives so they create jobs here when we see that they have a strong business plan to do so, Mr. Speaker.
I feel that we need to discuss that more as a legislature, to decide what kind of businesses we actually want to support with the taxpayers' money.
The question came as the provincial government revealed a working group, one that's been working quietly for months on the anticipated legalization of marijuana nationwide.
I'd like to keep my personal views to myself, if you don't mind.
Public Safety Minister Stephen Horseman is leading the group and says its focus is wide in scope, looking at everything from the social, health, and economic effects of legal weed.
There's mental issues. Colorado's run into some issues with young males between certain ages.
The working group includes NB Liquor, which has been researching the idea of selling marijuana at some of its stores.
I just think they need to get some input from people who've been in the industry.
Jackie Vino says she has no plans to sell legal weed, but says the working group should be expanded.
Like myself, who's been in the industry over 20 years, there has to be some fallback to protect us so every Tom, Dick, and Harry is not opening a shop and selling products that they don't know the history of.
Still, Vino says it's high time the issue is being looked at in an open way. Stephen Horseman says Ottawa will determine the bulk of legal marijuana policy going forward, but the minister and former police officer says in his own personal view that legal marijuana should be prohibited for anybody under the age of 21. Steve.
Lots to debate here. Nick, thanks very much. CTV's Nick Moore for us tonight from the newsroom in Fredericton.
We're back.
Hi.
Well, yeah, hi.
Hi.
Okay, so
You know what? You know what the problem was today? Something happened, and we did not have massive amounts of weed on the table.
I've been here's
What happened?
Also, here, Jared, smoke this bowl. I've been trying
Okay.
to get you to smoke this bowl
Oh,
for a while.
good Lord.
There's another one here.
Okay,
So
all
there's
right,
some more
will do.
weed on the shelf. Got that covered.
This is Carly Marley's first bong. It's her favorite.
That is Carly Marley's
Yeah.
super loved bong.
It is. I love this bong.
So, you know what? As we move into a different platform, and as we have legalization upon us, and how we have patients' rights being granted, continue to grow their own medicine, I think now we're more about getting access to those patients and how they be able to consume and get their cannabis with the new platform going on. And I mean, people like that are suffering on low-income assistance, stuff like that. How are they able to obtain their medicine with the new system being accessed? Maybe we're going to start seeing more of a way of being coverage for these patients that can't afford their cannabis for their condition, because a lot of people who are suffering, they can't work because of their condition. They can't hold their jobs because they get sick all the time, and there's a lot of reasons why a lot of these patients, they're being forced on income assistance and unable to hold jobs because of their condition, and then at the same time they have to suffer because they got to spend all their money on their medicine because of a market that isn't covered, but they're able to access all the pharmaceutical drugs that don't work for them.
Yep, and that's
So-
it's really about the freedom to choose that.
I
you know?
think with the charter and what's happened with this whole thing, more is going to rise of it, and maybe in the years to come we'll start seeing more access for patients.
You guys didn't see what was in that video because we didn't have the sound in-house here, but you had the Brent Zettel from Prairie Plant Systems on there yapping.
Yeah.
And, man, that guy, what a piece of work. They're complaining about the dispensaries being their competition and the fact that they don't have their monopoly that should be instilled by the government. These guys are real scumbags. Like, I'm sorry, but that guy, and what they're saying, that's wrong. These guys are bad people. So if they're calling for the closure of dispensaries and closing for, or calling for other people to have their medicine sources taken away from them because these guys want their monopoly protected, go fuck yourself. Like, seriously, it's just ridiculous that they could, try and lobby the government. These guys are the new prohibitionists. These are the guys who are, like, calling for peaceful people to be put in prison. Well, that's wrong, in my opinion. So, anyways, there's my rant.
I agree.
This drink in front of me. Oh, yeah, that's good. Look at this. This is what Carly got for me. This is Fentiman's Victorian lemonade. I feel very...
Victorian. Yes, you look so Victorian today.
Very Victorian. I feel like a dandy. I do have my glasses on. They're pretty dandy.
I got one-eyed from that toke that was pretty, like, peppering.
Peppering.
Make me-
Peppering. That's a good word for an eye toke.
Peppering.
I'm going to remember that. Wow, that was peppering. That's a good one.
I think that's why I sneezed last time.
I'll give you credit, though.
So, I'm super, super duper high now, and it's like, what time is it?
Munchie time. That's what time it is. Munchie time.
I thought we were going to 7:10.
7:10. It's 6:32.
7:10. That's a cool idea.
Go from
Got that
4.
look from me
We
on
should
the
start the
side.
show at 4:20 and go to 7:10 every day.
Yeah,
every time.
start
It'd be
at
funny. 4:20 to 7:10 on the show. The show already goes on for so long. Well, I love you all out there, Pot TV. And Johnny, is there anything else? Anything else we wanted to do on the show before the end of her? Do you think anything? What about you, Carly Marley?
Yeah, we kind of got sidetracked when I was talking about the awesome brand I was wearing. If you want to find out more about them, I wrote an article and it's got all the pictures and everything. You can find that on cannabisculture.com.
Yes.
And you can find their clothing at 420 Trading Co. 420 Trading Co.
All you guys are writing. You're forcing me to write another article.
Good.
It's going to happen.
There's going to be a lot more fashion articles coming. We kind of got sidetracked with a lot of other projects on this one, but now the ball's rolling again. So there's going to be a lot more cool information coming out about brands. And this stuff is so soft. I can't get over it.
Is it made by, is it hemp? Wow,
It's not hemp, but it's environmentally plant blah, blah, blah.
That
All these, like,
we got our hands all over. Like,
She's getting all flustered.
Sorry.
It's environmentally printed ink, so that's good.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
See, we got some environment behind there, a little bit of helping to save what we love
Trading
so
Co.,
much,
cool people.
Mother Nature and this planet.
And going to give some more stuff away soon.
Yes, so stay tuned for that on Cannabis Culture, and Carly Marley will share that around too.
And Carly Marley, where can they find you online?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at Carly Marley420, and you can find me on Instagram and Facebook as Carly Marley.
There you go. And Johnny, what about you?
I love you if you follow me forever, and thank you to anyone who's watching who does. You guys are the best.
Well, if the viewers don't know, you can get me on YouTube, John H. Berfelo. You get me on Twitter, 420 Weedmaster. Of course, my Facebook, John H. Berfelo. My Twitter's hijacked, so you can't really go there. You can figure that one out one day.
Your Twitter got hijacked. Right?
Yeah, like back in October, and I just haven't had time to deal with it. I got to figure it out.
Look,
I'm getting a look.
We have the Ashley cam. Look, we
Yeah.
can get Ash on camera.
You guys are like,
that's
No.
the mean Carly cam. Oh, hi. There's the Ashley cam. Hi, Ashley.
Say, please don't.
Oh, did she say please don't? Oh, sorry. I just did it anyways. Look, there we are.
So, most of all, YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat. I mean, having fun on Snapchat.
Johnny's,
Maybe-
get on Johnny's Snapchat.
It's so funny.
Because it's not really like there's me in the garden, there's me here, and then there's Snapchat.
Yeah.
Then it's John.
It's true, but you say funny things too. I love it.
Do I yell on my snaps?
Snap yeller?
I don't know. I always have my
yelling into
phone
the microphone,
volume
too.
very quiet and my phone brightness very low, and everyone's always like, "How can you see and hear your phone?" I don't understand. But
Bless
it's just
you,
me.
Johnny.
Everyone talks quietly in my videos.
Well, yeah. So there you can find all those people on all those things. You can find me at cannabisculture.com and pot.tv, and you can find my Instagram and all that jazz, Twitter, at Jay from the Lake. Jay from the Lake.
I was going to say I'm going to throw my Snapchat in there just because it's John B4203 575. I don't know what 575
J,
is.
like the letter J, that is.
575 followers?
575, Johnny.
Hey Jeremiah.
That's impossible.
Yes.
Why is your name Jay from the Lake online?
Why
Because
is it
Jay
that?
came from the lake.
Because, I was born and raised on the lake. No, that's not why. Do you know why?
I know why.
Say it.
I was just giving you the setup to.
Do you know why?
To tell you. Let you tell your story.
I forgot.
Tell what story?
We want to know.
The story of why.
One time, I just about drowned in a lake. I was rescued by Carly's parents, and that's how we met. No, that's not how it happened.
No, it was my parents. It was me. I saved
She
him.
rescued me. She knows how to. Because she worked at a cowboy bar. She knows how to throw a good lasso, and she can she uses the rope thing.
Great
Pulled me right
imagination.
out
I
of the water.
love this story
I
now.
did work at a cowboy bar.
I know. I'm like, I
Twice.
saw the
She
boots and the
she's
jeans. I was like,
coyote.
wow.
So tell them about your Coyote Ugly thing you did.
You did?
Yeah, she's
really?
like one of those Coyote Ugly dancers.
Okay,
She's a dancer.
That's enough. Okay, we finished.
She could get up on the table right here, right now.
Come
I
on,
know,
let's
it's
move
a
the
table,
ball.
Ride to
though.
the
It's not a
mechanical
bar.
ball.
It's not a bar. We're used to dancing
Okay,
on bars.
turn
and
down the
tables.
lights. Can you turn up some
Yeah.
music?
There we go.
Oh my God. Well, we're thinking about having fun music videos coming to Pot TV soon.
We could play your Mike Jones music
Some things
video.
in the work. Oh my God.
Oh,
my God.
Carly's in a Mike Jones music video, like the rapper Mike
Definitely
Jones.
not country dancing.
No,
That's
she
for
ain't
sure.
country dancing in that
Country
one.
dancer too?
No, that is a really. What's she doing in that video, Carly? She's twerking, actually, among other things. Yeah. She's really cute in the video. You got to see it. It's not that old. It's pretty fresh.
It is actually. It's a new
Just
video.
came out.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
She's a dancer, so she's in all the kind of stuff. I wasn't supposed to talk about that on Pot TV, really.
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, you know what? It's like.
Yeah. Carly the Foxy Lady.
Hopefully, Pod TV can handle.
Oh, I don't know if they can handle that. We
Carly.
should play it on the show one time.
Oh my goodness.
That's a lot of Carly ass.
You can find it on my Facebook page.
So, yes. Yes. All right, so we're just about done wrapping this up. And the reason that it's Jay from the Lake is because my last name is from the lake. For real. Vandermeer means from the lake. So there you go.
Vandermeer from the Lake.
You're welcome
Setting
for
him
that
up for knocking it down.
setup. You're welcome for that.
Yeah, I just got called Johnny B.
Johnny B. That's your last name. Johnny B. See, I'm trying to convince Johnny.
Johnny B. Why is it B? Why do you call yourself Johnny B?
My last name is Berfelo. Well, oh what?
I was kidding around, but nice spot.
And you know.
Goodbye.
Bong Slayer. Yeah.
Goodbye.
On that note,
Why?
Before anything else
Last
gets
name.
broken. That's the end of the
Johnny
show.
B.
All right, Pod TV. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you next Friday. Actually, tomorrow night.
Peace and pot.
Make sure you watch
That's what Greg
the
says.
Thompson Caribou shindig happening right here
What
live
else
on
is
Pod
going
TV.
on? A lot of stuff goes on Pod TV all week.
We got all kinds of stuff. We
McMahon
got
on Monday.
The expert is going to be there live doing a little broadcast
He's
from the
like-
Thompson Caribou thing.
He's doing a lot of expert live
He's doing a lot
events
of
for
live-
Pod TV.
I know. We love this guy. We love sending him to these events.
He's having
I
fun.
think we may stop by, possibly, me and Carly Pants tomorrow night or something. You think? You want
Tomorrow
to?
night?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know what. I was just looking at how much bong water is so.
Oh,
good
you want to talk? Should we
But yeah, sure.
prolong
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Drag this show out a
Sure,
little
we'll do
longer so
whatever
you
that
can.
is.
Do you want me to sweep some more?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
So
you.
check that out tomorrow night on Pod TV, and then we'll see you guys back next week for Carly's show on Monday. The 420 lifestyle.
Be less clumsy
The
than
bong
I promise, or I'll
bong
try.
lap lifestyle.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Peace, Pod TV.